pressed the button that makes the show go live. I pressed the button, and I would like to know if it's working with the question that we have. It's Shanahanigans Live. It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. Hello.
Katie's over there.
Hello, hello.
You're here. I keep talking over you. Go.
Oh, I just said hello.
Katie says hello.
I do. Is my mic not working?
It's just our timing is always like as soon as you're about to say something, I'm like, I'm saying something too.
No, you know what? It's all good. We're so excited. We're just happy.
We're so excited to be here. We'd like to ask a technical question of is
It's
recording. How about casting? It's time for the Shanahanigans Live. If you're at home, you can join on in. I encourage you all to sing out loud, but some of you, maybe households don't encourage singing.
Oh, my mic's not plugged in.
Your mic's
keep going.
Katie's gonna fix the mic because they're recording. I hear mic not plugged in. So we're casting. It's time for Shanahanigans Live. That's a question. God. Can you change your mic during the show, or is that going to cause even worse problems?
We're gonna find out.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
If you hear a feedback frequency, guys, well, Katie's gonna fix her mic, and Shaggy's gonna try to buy some time. Meanwhile, can I hear you? Are you talking? I don't hear you. I don't hear you at all. I hear nothing. I hear
blah,
now.
blah.
Wait.
Sing.
Katie finally fixed her mic, and she did it just on freaking time. I think I said time twice. Oh well.
Yeah. We're very professional.
Still, is it recording? Is it broadcasting? It's time for. Is it broadcasting? Shenanigans.
So live.
It's Wednesday. Shanahanigans Live is happening. This isn't a dream. This is real. Believe it. Katie's here.
Hello, everybody.
She just switched her microphone, so hopefully there's no repercussions of that.
Is it working? I think it should be fine. Let us know if it's reverbing weird. Welcome, if this is your first time. This is our live show.
Sorry if it's your first time.
Never apologize.
Okay. Own your mistakes.
Yeah, we're two comic-making siblings from Toronto, Canada. My day job, I work as a storyboard artist, and in my nighttime, by night, I'm a comic artist working on stuff slowly. And this is my brother Shaggy.
I'm super unemployed.
Who is an unemployed writer?
What? I mean freelance. Freelance.
Because
Speaking of
if you're
Canada,
freelance, it means you're in between, or yeah, it's all good.
As one of our previous prime ministers would have said, "Happy birthday, Canada!" That was Chris Chan, I think. Canada is now 100 and something years old because we just had Canada Day. I think it's like what, 57 or something like that, 150. I don't know. I should know.
You should know. They're gonna take back your passport.
I'm sorry. That means I can't get my free mandarins on because speaking of Canada Day, which we should speak of, one of the strangest things promotions I've ever seen was Mandarins, the chain of all-you-can-eat food. I don't even know if you can classify it as any particular kind of food because it's kind of like a mix of things. Said on Canada Day, so yesterday, if you brought evidence of your Canadian citizenship, you would get free food.
And
so what did we do?
I've seen.
We avoided that altogether because I do not want to go near a restaurant.
I saw photos of that lineup and it was crazy.
Yeah, what we did instead is we went 2 days prior just to like at least get the experience, but not the freeness. So
yeah, and I ate so much hurt, but it was really good.
It was good. Mandarin, all you can eat is as you grow older, the joys of all you can eat may not be as strong as they once were when you could eat all you could. Now that we have figures that we must, take care of. My belly. It's kind of like, well, my metabolism isn't as happy with mandarins as it once was. But that doesn't mean I can't stop by and grab 3 plates of delicious piles of foods like ribs and pizza for breakfast. Neither here nor there. Happy birthday, Canada.
Happy birthday.
How'd you guys enjoy your Canada days? We actually saw some fireworks 2 days or the day prior down at the Harbourfront Center, so we can avoid going to a more crowded place on the actual Canada Day. So that kind of worked out in our favor.
That was nice. I didn't end up going, but I saw the view from my bedroom, and it was just like a nice you know, I got a bit of the skyline in there. You see the fireworks behind the skyline. So I was like, this is perfect. I don't really need to go all the way down there, but it sounds good that you guys had a good time.
It was fun. It was really nice. I haven't actually been to the Harborfront Center in a while, and they have like all these kind of tents and booths and light bulbs strung up like it's oh gosh, what's that guy's name? Who's the guy in all the movies like Drive and stuff? Who's like
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, I felt like I was in a Ryan Gosling film being down at the Harborfront because they have like
Nice.
little string light bulbs. Like I'm not saying like Christmas lights. This is like hardcore little round
This is
light
like
bulbs.
Ryan Gosling lights.
Yeah, they had the Gosling lights out, and I felt like I was in one of those movies because it was like this magical, perfect moments, and I had like some fries, and like this is just like
Friggin'
all those movies I
fries.
never saw.
Ah!
Are you okay?
No, I'll be fine. I apologize in advance. There is a big fat scary fly in here. I let in.
Heavens to Betsy.
I'm gonna try and keep my cool. I'm fine usually with any kind of. I'm not a fan of spiders, but like generally, if there's a bug, I'll try and put it outside. But flies just drive me insane.
Right.
They bounce off your screen in your face.
Well, speaking of it being summer, this is the season where fruit flies just appear into existence for no given reason. You know, they just show up out of, I don't know where they come from and how they multiply, what science or magic, but they just show up and then they just start buzzing around your house and it's really annoying. So, good luck everyone else who has that problem. Let's jump in the chat. Oh no, go for it. I'm just yapping. I thought you were like under attack still, so
At some point I'm gonna have to try and get it out actually.
While Katie's doing that, you can join the chat.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get the Tupperware and
Switch
I
to
don't want
mute
to
cam while Katie tries to attack a
Alright.
fly. If you're joining us on the Google Chat, you can actually, it's not actually a chat, it's this bizarre, Q&A kind of section where you post things and then it puts it in any order it wants to, and then you can vote for people's questions. I don't know what it is, but that's the only way to communicate with us right now. If you're watching on the YouTube, you're really just watching. We can't communicate with you at all. Even if you leave a comment, we won't see it until after the show because we're just here. So go over to the Google Plus link, go to Shanahanigans on the Facebook page. First of all, if you're watching, you should follow our Facebook page because that's the best way. You know, as difficult as it is spelt right down here, SHANAHANIGANS, easy as that. That's the easiest place to find all your updates for what we're doing, all your links. So if you want to go there, you can find your links to the YouTube, to the Google Plus. Join us in the chat. Ask your questions. We can get back to you. And Sprechen which we will get back to you right now because we got people writing in. We got Eleni Chung saying, finally caught this while it's live. Yes, well, congratulations. With this show is kind of scheduled elusively at different times. It's based on when we're free. Usually a Tuesday or Wednesday around 8 p.m. Eastern. And if not, we will tell you, usually on the Facebook page. But because Facebook and their pages now have a way to minimize who sees what information, so to enforce that we pay them to send the message out to everyone, you may not know it unless you go to the Facebook page intentionally. Yes. Katie's banging around trying to get that bug. But let's go through some of these chats while we're here. We got Benjamin Boston saying, how do you avoid acting toxic after seeing a bad movie? Did you catch? Sorry. You caught a bug? Good.
It's on my script.
Can you open the door with it in there? Or okay, I'll go back to me, Cam. So Katie caught a bug. Good on that. We got Benjamin Boston saying, how do you avoid acting toxic after seeing a bad movie? I don't know, by hiding in a hole and crying and hoping, trying to forget about it. We'll look more into that later. I just want to say some hellos to everyone here. I think that post was actually from like way before. So we have Elizabeth Welch, Creepy Porpoise saying hi, Shanahan's. Going on, Creepy Porpoise. We got Chris Cater saying Shaggy is pretty good at that thing. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but hopefully it's something good. Alex S. saying, hello, everyone. Hello, Alex. We also have Andrew Murray.
Okay, where were we?
Okay, he's back. What's up? You got it?
I got it.
Thank you.
Put it outside.
The one and only, saying, tell me all about your Comic-Con plans and adventures to be had. I'll never get to go. We'll get to that in a sec. We'll just read some more. So, Katie, mental note, Comic-Con. Right?
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about that. I just want to get through some more of what people said here.
I might forget about it completely. Comic-Con.
Andrew Murray is also going back to Mandarins, saying the sad part about Mandarins is that I would go there and just get things like onion rings and egg rolls. Such a waste.
Why would you do that? You need to have a little bit of everything. That's kind of the whole point. You just samples.
Yeah. But like when you go to Mandarins, you never revisit the same hot plate. You just kind of go once and never return. and then you just kind of like cover it with everything.
A friend of ours went and got bread, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" Bread.
That's how they get you. Did you freeze, Katie? No. Did we both freeze? Oh God, no, no, no. Write in, guys, if you can see or hear us still. Hello?
Hi. Yeah, something happened.
Can you guys actually see me? Test. Okay. We do have a bit of a cloudy sky, so we might have some weird weather on the live stream. If you're new to the show, we've been plagued with technical difficulties since day one.
Usually something goes wrong.
So if you get a show at all, that's a good thing.
You should be
I think people are. We got Sarah saying did celebrate, but in Montreal it was free stuff on the sidewalk day. Mostly people move on July 1st.
Oh,
That's true.
nice.
A lot of people move on the 1st and last of the month. So that's one way to do Canada Day, is moving your couches with your friends. We also have Sweet Tea saying I have a question. Oh, okay. Let's get to Comic-Con before we go into questions. Okay, well.
Priorities.
Okay, I'll read Chris saying Chris went to the island on Canada Day, like we do most years, only to find out that they did the fireworks on Monday, and those are the fireworks I saw because I was watching them from the harbor front.
That's too bad.
Yes. On the bright side, we could see all the cities on the shoreline's fireworks. They were really far away, but cool to see. I think also the beaches out east, also have a fireworks display, so you may have been able to see that if you're on the whatever east end of the islands. I don't know, maybe. Fireworks are in the sky. That's where you look. Okay, so keep a mental note for Andrew Murray about Comic-Con.
You can just chirp in when we're...
If you want to remind him, because I clicked another question that may lead us elsewhere, saying, I have a question! This Sweet Tea. I've been working in studio for about a year and a half, and now I'm moving and will be working from home. Excited to save on commute time and money, but a little concerned about keeping focused and productivity. Any personal tips from the person who has the most composure and productivity?
I'm still pretty bad at it, but I'm not obviously bad enough that I don't get work. That sounded really snotty. No, I mean you just kind of have to. Well, I forget what that thing is you called it. There's a name for it when you work a bit, take a break, work a bit, take a break. What is that?
My system is called the 45-15.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll show you. I was actually doing it today. I'm not going to set up this little chicken clock here, as you can see. It's an egg timer, basically. I set it to 45 minutes, and then I put it here, and it's ticking away. I put on my headphones and start listening to music, and I work for those 45 minutes. When that bell goes off, I now have 15 minutes to do whatever the hell I want, grab a snack, stretch, get up, go around, do laundry, dishes. But then once that 15 is up, the bird calls me back to my table, and then I start again on the next 45. And I find that breaks up the hours so nice that they never feel too long. Because when I look at it, it's like, oh, I only got 20 more minutes of working. Like, twice today, I've looked at it and been like, oh, just 20 more minutes. That's not too bad. And it feels a lot better than just working straight for like 8 hours and being like, I hate my life.
Yeah, and that's not good. And that's the thing. It's you got two. It's the nice healthy mix between two problems you could have. The problem of working too much, which when we hit deadline mode, sometimes you have to do it, but it's just awful because it's like you get up and you don't go out, you don't do anything, you just sit there in your chair and work, and that's not good for you. That's not good for productivity either. Like you need to take breaks to recharge, and even if you take like a 10-minute break to go for a walk. You'll come back at it more recharged than if you just sat there and plugged through it. Like sometimes you need to take those mental, physical breaks. And the other problem is you're distracted all the time because you have internet and you have chores and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I should just go grocery shopping right now, which you could do if you want to. You just got to make sure you make up for the time. So I would say keep a good schedule. Like I make sure I break down. When I have a storyboard, I make sure I break down what needs to get done. So I have like my 2 lists. I have like ideally what I would like to get done and what has to get done to make the deadline. And usually the latter is what I end up hitting. But at least you can schedule it in a way to, okay, as long as I get 1 page done a day, I know I've hit my daily quota and I can go take a break, or maybe I need to work a little bit more. But yeah, make sure you take breaks. And I think the alarm clock thing works because if you're sitting there and you're drawing and it's only been 2 minutes and you want to go on Tumblr, if you look at the little egg clock and it says you've got another 30 minutes to go, you can be like, you know what, I can work for 30 minutes, and then when that's up, then I'll go look at Tumblr, and then maybe when that 30 minutes is up, you're like, I don't really need to look at pictures of Ryan Gosling all afternoon.
The thing with the social media, the social media is probably the heaviest distraction I have in life. Like at the jobs I've done where I've had nothing to do, I get on these dangerous loops where I'm sitting there in front of a computer being like, what's happening on Facebook? And that's like 20 minutes of Facebook. I'm like, now what's happening on Twitter? I'm done with Twitter. What's happening on a Tumblr? Then after that, I'm like, let's go back to Facebook. And it's a never-ending loop.
Yeah, you done that thing where you have your email tab open, and you open up another tab, and you open up your email again?
Yeah. The thing,
or anything.
No, as I said
So
before,
bad.
I've done a thing where I've been on Facebook right in front of me and gotten bored, made a new tab and typed in Facebook to see what else is going on Facebook. So this is the danger. What this system, what this 45-15 system is you can't do any of that stuff until the 15-minute break. And that's when you have to use it wisely. Because I also say, be sure to sign out of everything. Sign out of your your Twitters, your Tumblrs, because when you buy muscle, type in FACE and like open up Facebook, when it comes up as you need to put in your password because you signed out, it reminds you that you can't casually look at some information and get caught up in the wave again. Because when you accidentally open Facebook and you see stuff, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, someone posted the Sailor Moon intro, and then from there it goes tangential to everything else. You have to basically be logged out of everything. You could get one of those internet watchdog softwares that's like blocks everything for you. That's like, oh,
everybody I've told to do that, they're like, well, I'd rather just be disciplined. I'm like, wouldn't we all rather just be disciplined? But I haven't done it yet, but like it seems.
The 45-15 is the discipline. This chicken stares at me in the soul and says, "Hey, are you going on that Twitter? Are you going on that Twitter?" Basically, the chicken says, "I'm like, okay, I'm not. And he's like, "It goes back." Kind of deal. So that's my suggestion. So basically, the tips for working at home, being dedicated is something you have to, it's what we have to train ourselves for. If there's no, like in your case, there will be a deadline, but since you're at home, it doesn't feel like it. But when you're working on your own personal projects, there are technically no real deadlines. You have to create those for you out of your motivation. When you're doing freelance from home, you have to create it extra more to a certain degree because it's, well, not necessarily, because there's the weight of someone who's relying on you.
Extra more.
Well, let me invert that. I think the extra more is more for the personal project, but for the consequence more, it's on the freelance.
Yeah, you can't miss those.
You can't screw around. So sign out of everything. Set yourself a moderation system of some sort. It doesn't have to be 45-15. Maybe you want to do a 2-hour and a 2-hour and a half-hour break. I don't know. It's whatever. Because sometimes you get in the flow. If you're in the workflow and the chicken is like, time's up, you're like, oh, but I still had a few things. Like you can extend it to be like, I'd rather do an hour of straight work and half an hour break after it. It's always moderation. Get up. Your body is a part of your mental system. So if your body feels sore, your brain isn't going to be as good as it could be either.
Mm-hmm.
That's my case. And backing us, we got Andrew Murray saying the 45-15 works great. Thank you, Andrew Murray.
Is that what you use, Andrew? Excellent.
Probably call it something easier to say, like the 3/4 system.
It's something that starts with, I think it's a...
The 3/4 system? Because 45-15...
Pavlovian. I think there's a word for it that starts with a P, but it's not Pavlovian. But it's like Palomar system or something. Named after whoever invented it. It starts with a P, I think.
Wait, did someone else come up with it? Because no one told me. I thought I made this up.
Oh, no. That's you. It's your... Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. I call it the chicken clock system.
There we go.
I don't know. 45-15 chickens. It's even more complicated now. We got Andrew Murray also saying cold turkey is a good one. It blocks your social sites for set amount of hours.
Maybe I should do that
cold
for the
turkey.
Mornings, because apparently you're supposed to be your most creative first thing, and that's why they tell you don't check your emails first thing in the morning, because then suddenly you're in response mode.
Right, and you're getting.
And I mean, generally, I don't think anyone needs to hear from you by lunch if it's a super emergency call. So it's like the morning should be when you sit down and focus and get into the zone and listen to music and draw, and then, okay, it's new time now, I can chat emails and check. Because it's like, I remember listening to this interview with this animation studio, and everyone's like, first thing I do is I get up and I check my email, and I'm just like, it just puts me on the wrong path when I get up, because suddenly I'm just responding to, again, that rabbit hole, oh, what's that? And I'll check this, and I'm on my Twitter. And like, nothing really is that important first thing, unless it's like, we gave you the wrong script, oh my god, read the script. But, I mean...
Hopefully the caption of the email gives you that impression too, and I actually have to read them all. Just like, you get your update on the top of the phone being like, everything's going to hell, you're like, maybe I should read this email. Well, like, put it in this kind of metaphor. Think of it like you're spending your holiday on the beach.
Oh.
And every morning, the first thing you want to do is go surfing. So you're running down the beach, the surfboard above your head, and you go hit the water, but then you stop, to talk to all these people about surfing for an hour before you go surfing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to put your surfboard down and be like, oh, well, I'm going to catch a wave, and I'm going to do this and that and that. And it kind of takes out that charge of just running straight to the water from the beach house when that guitar riff is like, you're like,
Yeah.
but then the music stops, and you got to be like, oh, well, and then...
Yeah, you want to
that's
keep
why,
that initial momentum.
yeah, so maybe do it more like this, or another metaphor. Let's go metaphors, why not? Think of your creative work as like a live talk show or something like that. Where like off the bat, it's like a big number. You know, you got the standing sequence, like the monologue, and then they go and sit down and do more talking. I don't know if that's a good metaphor. The point is, get straight into your work first thing in the morning.
So what's the
do a bunch of
emails?
stuff.
Like the emails are the celebrity guests that come on.
Yeah, so that's the part of the show I stopped watching. So.
Well, then you're well on your way.
Yeah.
I was going to say too, another good thing that I found for me too is having like associative triggers, like things like music. So when I'm working on a certain project, I kind of have a certain playlist that I get used to because that'll get me in the zone. And I mean, you can get kind of tired of the music towards the end, but like when I was working on my last project at ARC, on that project I can't talk about yet, every morning to get into the zone, I would have to play like Florence and the Machine and Hybrid and like a whole bunch of certain, like this order of music that just would get me into the brain zone for working on it. And kind of you pick something sometimes to go with the tone of what you're working for. Like, so if I'm working on a fairy tale kind of show, that's the stuff I'll listen to. If I'm working on something goofy comedy, I might listen to some, well, like a good example would be Abenobashi. Yeah, or like the Yoko Kanno. I don't know, does she do Abenobashi? The soundtrack?
I don't think so, but she does a lot like Jolly Jaunty stuff.
A lot of like original background music, just miscellaneous stuff, just to get into the zone you're working on. Like a really sad moment, you pick a playlist for that. But just, it'll get you into the zone, and it's like, if you just listen through this whole playlist, then it's like, oh, okay, good, like an hour went by, I put in some good work.
Yeah.
And if all else fails, just mad scramble, but do try and take breaks.
I think back when I was working at the stop motion studio, like my playlist every morning was DJ Pogo stuff. Yeah. So it was like the Mary Poppins remix and Upular, the one from Alice in Wonderland, and then like the Willy Wonka one was like my last one, and then I got back to work kind of thing.
Yeah,
I was like, that's what started my day because I like knew these beats. You know, it was kind of like when we traveled Europe and like the bus had different music based on whether we were taking off at the beginning of the day or whether we were arriving.
You rolled into town when the Transformers soundtrack came on. Nothing quite like rolling into beautiful historic.
Germany and
I'm thinking, no, where were we? Florence, rolling into beautiful Florence and hearing Transformers.
Well, the worst is that was the music that would wake you up though, because when you get on the bus, it was. Everyone's Gonna Love Today by Mika, so it's like and it feels like a very like the camera shot's gonna go out and show the bus and the opening credits are gonna start. It's very
good. I know people got really sick of it, especially the Australians were like but
like it was a good starting music that then gradually the other music would play, you'd fall asleep. But then when it was time to arrive, it went Transformers, and you learned just to hate that song because that woke you up from like your nice bus sleep.
And again, it's like you're in Paris and there's all these beautiful buildings. It's like friggin' Transformers.
Yeah. We got Sarah also saying, I think it's good for your health to do the 45-15, especially if you draw a lot, preventing getting injuries.
Yeah, you should take a break, stretch gently, stand, walk around. I like to, one of my tricks is I have like a small cup of water by my desk, so it'll make me get up. If I'm like, oh, I'm out, I'll go get up and walk around. Instead of like a giant thing that you're like, I don't need to move at all.
Yeah, my trick is I only have one beer on my desk, so when I finish it, I'm like, oh, I better get another from the fridge. I didn't bring the whole six-pack out here, I better get more.
Yeah, freelance.
Yeah, I've noticed, like, ever since I've been more freelancing, my alcohol intake has raised greatly.
I had to be careful because now they have all those fruity beers out this summer, and I'm like, oh, I'll just have one. And then my tolerance is, like, not what it was in college, so I have one, and I'm like, screw it, I'm not working.
Well, especially if you like your
show for an hour.
If you like yourself a fruity, delicious beer, this is like the summer of raspberry everything. So every brand has been coming out with their own raspberry something, and I've tried them all.
You got to try them all.
We got this was a little while ago, but Ariel Chan also says Happy Wednesday. Yes.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday to you too. And we have some. think these are either leftover quotes. Chris saying it's fine in response to something that I think was long deleted before, so I'm just going to remove that.
It's fine,
And,
everybody.
and I think someone else said this, but now Glenn is saying it. He's saying procrastifex.
Yeah.
Which that's in relation to us talking about
That was
procrastination.
my Procrastifex was my college business. It was like I would put it when I was in the second year. I think we had to do animal walk cycles, and I left mine to the last minute and did this horrible weasel walk. It was just like the stupidest walk, and the joints kept popping and it just looked so dumb. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna at least have fun with this. So I gave it like this really irate kind of angry expression. So it was just this angry weasel walk, and I would stick it in front of all my animations as my calling card, and it would show up and people would laugh. So I'd be like, all right, cool, I wanted the right thing. And the logo underneath it was Procrastifex, you know, like my company. And I remember getting a URL for it because I was like, yeah, this is gonna be my animation company. This is gonna be my comic company. And I remember in third year sitting down with Kai Pindle, one of our teachers, who is like animation history itself. He was kind of like, I think you might want to rethink the name of your company. I don't think it lets a really good message out to clients. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, we've historically haven't been the best at picking names. I wasn't sure if I want to bring this up or not, but let's segue. I was at a party recently for like the Canada Day stuff, and a friend of mine was saying like he just had no idea how to spell Shanahanigans.
Yeah, well, I remember like a couple years ago you really wanted us to switch to really go and rebrand Shanahanigans, and I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think people are going to be able to pronounce it. And you got kind of sad about that. Maybe
I thought it was so perfect. I'm like, everyone knows the word Shenanigans.
Yeah, Shenanigans, S-H-E-N-A, but Shanahanigans. It's like you need to know how to spell our name. And then again, but then we people it too. But you know what? The thing is, if people can learn to say Beyonce, people can learn to say Shenanigans.
There, that's if they know what Bjork is, then they could probably.
You know what Bjork is? You know how to spell Bjork? You can spell Shanahanigans. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you just make the content good enough.
Well, because at the moment we haven't really used, like, we'll talk more about this later. I don't want to put all the laundry out on the line here, kids. But the point is, it's like we haven't really used the brand of, you know, the Shanahanigans for the printed material exactly just yet. Like, none of the Silly Kingdom happened.
Like, I think I don't really want it to be like, because I think that's 3 different names. It's like Silly Kingdom by Shanahanigans. I'm imprinted Katie and Shaggy Shanahan. Like, if it's Silly Kingdom by Katie and Shaggy Shanahan, it's like you can find us easily on the web. But it's like I want to at least have our names there somewhere. And I mean, like, it's not really a company yet. That we don't have it as a company. So like I don't really feel like I want to stamp it on stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things that I kind of jumped into it with one foot out of the pool. So I'm like, I don't know, but you're already in there like splashing around, like
It's so fun. But but my point was, in that it wasn't branded on anything yet, we can still change it. Like, we're not locked, guys.
I like it.
Good. I'm sure you do.
It just is. You know, sometimes it can be difficult.
Right.
But I mean, if you make your stuff something people want to see, then they will remember it. They will find a way to find you. They will learn how to spell it.
Quick question: am I showing up in like a smaller screen for some reason, or because on my screen you're full screen and I'm in this little box and I don't know why?
I see you wide.
Okay. It's just me then, my end of it. Anyway, enough of that. Let's jump back quickly. We got Tyler Man saying, Shaggy, when will the next Yamane be, and will Katie be in the next one? So if you're wondering, last week, these are natural segues. We can get into stuff. So last week, whenever Katie's not around, you know, my new thing is I take over the show and take you guys all on an adventure, on an RPG-ish journey, if you will, through a game of chance and mystery and storytelling, and definitely not called D&D, called Yeah, Meh, Nah, as in yeah for yes, meh for and nah for no. Which means 3 possible things can happen on this journey based on the roll of the dice. Either you did the thing you did, you sort of did the thing you did, or you didn't do the thing you did. Meh. And the last one we did, we've done 2 now. The first one was the Terror of Tenure, which I don't know if Creepy Porpoise is still in the chat, but there was indeed a Creepy Porpoise in that as well. We did that one, and the most recent one we did was the it was the latte. Oh, what was it actually called? The something latte, the taco lattes. Okay, it was a superhero story.
Taco latte.
The taco lattes versus the forces of Doris in the Doris Fortress, or whatever that is.
I like that. See, you're so good with naming things.
Yeah, I'm so good at naming. You know what? It's so great what I do. What could possibly go wrong with my naming conventions? But we did that last week. We had a bunch of people. It was fun times. Still a little tricky to do it over this Google Chat thing. I don't know if it's on this side of the screen or whatever. Just because there's a bit of a delay, so I have to be a little crafty in how I pose questions without waiting for people's answers forever. So it's kind of like I got to set stuff up instead of other stuff. Neither here nor there. It's fun to do. And last week's was the superhero story. And funny enough, I even made a list here. We actually got fan art for it.
That's awesome.
During the telling of the story.
Oh, so prolific.
Yeah, like these guys are on the ball. Let me see, I wrote them down because we actually got fan art from Morania Push, from Lil Armina, and Thomas of our characters. We had like 6 superheroes. There was the Palette. There was Cyclone. All right, well everyone had like one power. The Palette, whatever she like bites on or whatever, sees the history of it. The Cyclone was basically an airbender from Avatar. We had Malcolm Function, who was a dude who had a bunch of tiny little robots that he controlled. There was Katana, who controlled an army of cats.
Yeah.
And then Procrastinate, who basically had the power to remind you that you had something you should be doing right now, and you go off to do that instead.
It's a good power.
Good crew, and I played the role of Commander Dice, and led our team to defeat Doris in the Doris Fortress, in the Fortress of Doris. At least that was the goal, because we didn't defeat her. We failed miserably, but hey, at least we tried.
Yeah, it's all about
trying. Anything can happen. So long story short, if you want to join another one of those, I put the question out there before, being like, should we make this a whole separate thing? Should it only be on Shanahanigans Live? Would it be a weekly thing or a monthly thing or something? Like use a different software so that the chat would be quicker. So whatever you guys want to do, but either way, regarding if Katie would be in the next one, I don't know how that works, because Katie would have to not be here for it to happen. Mm-hmm. And she'd have to be here to be in the next one.
I am with you, actually, in every single one, in spirit.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I put out there, if you guys want to make it a separate thing and you could tell us what's a good web chat software to make a quicker RPG, D&D kind of experience as opposed to waiting for this crap, this Google Plus Q&A delay thing. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know if I have any other notes. I've basically, since we missed last week, like last week was a game instead of talking, I have like a whole list of topics here.
Oh, excellent.
Just cross that off. But yeah, so check it out. Check out last week's episode. And it's the taco lattes versus the forces of Doris, or versus Doris, I forget which it was. Alice Dunnigan says, I like the name Shanahanigans. I think it matches the general tone of the stuff you guys put out.
Thank you.
That's 1 point for keeping that.
I will put that on the list.
We have one person who believes, and if just one believes, the world can be changed. We got Ariel Chan saying, now I need a little chicken timer. I'll give it a shot. Cold turkey from social media makes me realize how much my mind wants stimulant and makes me antsy. Reading books helps.
Yeah, it's kind of the problem of just the way social media is set up now, where it's, you can't just do one thing, you have to do a whole bunch of things. And I remember someone talking about even just like I don't really meditate ever. Like I'll do yoga, but I'm not really much for meditation. But someone was suggesting meditation is a good way to kind of, I mean, it would drive you crazy, but it's to be aware of all the other things you want to do instead of meditate. Like the whole point is you're just supposed to sit there and be quiet, and you're supposed to like recognize. I want to check Twitter. No, don't do that. Just let that go. I want to check Tumblr. No, don't do that. Let that go. But it's supposed to like kind of make you aware of all the things you'd rather be doing than just sitting there. But I mean, that's me every day. Where it's like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do 100,000 things. But yeah, discipline, I guess. I don't know. If anybody finds out how to do it, tell me. Because I'm still learning.
I don't know if this is in regards to branding, but Glenn said, if Prince can become a symbol and people can figure out Chris's steakhouse, y'all are fine.
I'm pretty sure this is about branding. I'm not sure what else it's going to be.
Thank you, Glenn, for your contribution. Let's see. There's a bunch of stuff to you a little while ago. We got Alicia Dunningham saying, Kate, I do the same thing. Oh no, I'm yelling that with playlists for things I'm working with, to match the mood. It does help.
Yeah, just gets you that extra bit into the zone.
Well, it's like when people are writing and they say, when I was writing this chapter, this is the music I was hearing in my head.
Well, it's like certain audiobooks will now always be associated with certain, now you can't watch the Barbie Pony movie without thinking of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I don't know why
There you go.
those were mixed together, but I was listening to the audiobook at the time, just like, oh
Birds of a
my
feather.
god, drawing
Birds
happy
of a
stuff while
feather.
terrible things are happening in my ears.
Yeah. For me, just this week while I was writing, I was doing kind of like what's it called, like a discovery or like a band discovery? How's that work when you like go through everything they have?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I know like Keith Malley from Keith and the Girl was doing that a while back when he was like listening to Aerosmith, everything from the very first to the latest. And I don't know if I was doing it in order, but because of the conversation I had recently, I decided to like listen to a bunch of Vampire Weekend. Now to go back a step,
they're kind of like so you can tell I'm so up on the music scene, but they're kind of like the punk kind of pop punk kind of stuff.
I guess. Well, here's the thing. Like the reason I had this conversation was back at that party I mentioned before. Was I was talking about Indie 88, which is our Toronto indie music station. And I was talking about all the songs that drive me nuts on that channel. And I thought that one, it was either that one or the one where...
It's just, there's another one that, what's the new one driving us crazy? It's not even like they're bad songs, it's just, it gets shoved in your head and just...
But I mistook it, I thought it was a Vampire Weekend song, but it wasn't, but it was that, I think it was Holding Up, or was it a different one? No, it wasn't that one.
There was that one I walked into your house.
No, it was actually Arcade Fire. Where it's like, it's just a reflection, it's a reflection. That song.
Oh, okay.
Reflection. Or it's like reflected, whatever it is. Point is, I thought that was a Vampire Weekend song. So when I was telling my friend, I'm like, I hate that song, and they're like, that's not Vampire Weekend. So I correct myself, and I went to re-listen to all the Vampire Weekend ever. And there actually is one song from Vampire Weekend that is the one that's always on Indie 88. I forget which one it is, but it's, oh gosh. Either way, neither here nor there. The point is, I did my listen too. You're forgiven, Vampire Weekend. I thought you were Arcade Fire for a second. The point is,
Arcade Fire is classic Canadiana.
I hate that song. I'm sorry. I have nothing against the band. The people are probably really nice, but when I hear it, when I'm making
like, show your Canada Day pride by writing about a popular Canadian band.
Reflector, is this reflector? But Vampire Weekend actually has a lot as my review is they have a lot of silly noises. If you listen to a bunch of these songs, there's one that's like
so that's better than because I'm going to kind of level.
Their silly noises are better than the other silly noises. And there's another one that has like the chipmunk voice, and I'm like, what is going on with this band? And then there's one that's like kind of more what's that? What's it called? Ska or what's kind of music where it's like horns and guitars and it feels very.
It's beach. Like summertime beach, like No Doubt.
They're kind of all over the place. Vampire Weekend. They're interesting. I'm not a music guy traditionally, so I don't really know anything about anything.
As you can tell from this really sad conversation,
from my attempts to use well, like that's the thing. I try to recreate these songs on those softwares on the phone. That's like I don't know what it's called, like Song-a-Doodle or whatever the hell.
Oh, that thing never works when you sing into it and it's supposed to find out what the song is.
Yeah.
Never did it work, dude. Ever.
What's the other song that drives us up the wall? Now your head goes full circle. That Indie 88 song about circles. Full circle. It's like, your head goes. I'm like,
circle. Yeah.
And that's Shanahanigans music review.
Yeah, man, music review.
Yeah, the point is that's what I was listening to Vampire Weekend for like the last while writing, so I don't know if that influenced my writing at all. I'm just going to the bottom of the list here. We got Luis Nato saying, "Did you guys watch the new episodes of Legends of Korra?"
Not yet.
What did you think? Answer. I know there's like 3 of them. They kind of snuck up on us.
Yeah, they're apparently not on iTunes, I guess. Otherwise, that's the only way I can watch stuff.
Oh, really? You're not going to watch cartoon online?
I guess I could, but...
What other options? We haven't seen it yet, so sorry, but we will check that out. There's a lot of hot stuff coming out. We got new Sailor Moon stuff coming out very soon.
Sailor Moon.
We're both excited and terrified.
That's a good way to...
Yeah, it's a good feeling to have.
You know, the thing is, I never want to be that person that's like complaining about the new thing, because leave it for the next generation. Let them develop for the new one. Yeah, we had our go. It's fine. I really like the old one. I like crazy, goofy, chubby. The designs of the originals, I find they're just super long and sparkly now, which is closer to the manga. But like, you know, there's something I really liked the original stuff. But you know what? I still have that, and this just do the thing. I'm not a super huge fan. I'm not a super huge fan of the CG.
Oh, the CG I haven't actually watched yet.
Yeah, so they leaked the transformation sequence, and it's
like it's a
CG model, so it's like the camera's kind of going in all these crazy directions and stuff.
Oh, weird.
You know, sure, that's fine. I really like the classical the old. It just looked nicer. But that's just my opinion, and I'm not going to like rant about it on the internet. But I'm doing it right now because this. But you know, it's good on them. I'll check it out. I still haven't actually finished the original, so I mean.
Yeah, and they're re-releasing everything all updated and stuff too. So because we had, we eventually got one of the ADV releases that was like up to R, I guess. Like we didn't. It had everything, like all the first 52 episodes, subtitled, unedited, so like in its glory, depending on how you look at it. And like we haven't seen anything else after that, so it's kind of neat that it's all being re-released and like proper. Like they're actually redubbing everything. It's interesting too, and getting like the blessing of the creators and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting. It'll be sad to have the old voices go because I do like love the original two Serena voices, or Shaggy. I'm sorry. You know, like the cast was fun and silly, but you know they're updating it. So the point is, you know, I'm curious. I'm excited to see what the new Sailor Moon's like. I haven't really watched anything on it yet.
The Sailor Moon I liked was like not even the legit Sailor Moon because I still know them as Serena and her friend Molly. You know, that's just kind of what I grew up on. So I know. I never went back and watched the subs. Maybe one of the movies, but I mean, so my nostalgia is very much for the American bastardization. That ruined everything. I mean, it was my gateway, and I think it really got me into definitely pushed me further into comic making. Like I was making kind of Archie comics when I was a kid, but like when that came out, it was like whoa, crazy expressions and acting and stuff was fun. So yeah, good on you.
Good on you, existing. Sailor Moon, Crystal. No, I'm excited to see what it's all about. That's coming out shortly.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
We'll have a screening or something like that. Going back to earlier, we have a Creepy Porpoise saying, I was sad to have missed last week, which was the game episode. Check that out. Stuff. We have Andrew Murray down here saying, did you two go check out Pride at all this year?
I was planning on it, but I didn't end up going. It was just a really hot day, and I was working a deadline, feeling lazy. Usually when I go with my little sister, and we'll like just team up and run through the crazy crowds together. This year, like I had friends there. I think my friend Selena was actually on one of the floats with a bunch of friends, so I'm sad I missed that. But it was just such a gross hot day, and I just really didn't want to go near crowds. Sometimes I just get really in my head, and I'm like, you know, today's a good drawing day, so I mean. Sounds like there was a lot of awesome stuff happening, and like I'm like, yes, everybody go out there, have fun. But personally, I just wanted air conditioning and quiet and my computers. So I mean, sport 100%, but heat and outside
and burns,
you know, and sunburns. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I went all the time when I lived over there. I didn't get a chance to go out this year.
Yeah, you lived right on church, so
it's fun stuff though. But it's like I remember always being like, we were always around like college and young. Standing like up against the windows of the Shoppers Drug Mart, and the sun is beating on you in the front, then reflecting off you in the back, and you're just getting like cooked from all angles. And you're like, ah.
My favorite is the people that have water guns, and so you'd be like, yes, please, when they would just shoot you with hoses from the floor.
Well, yeah, when the fire truck comes by, you're like, please.
But I mean, like, I usually go every year with Heather, and since she wasn't here, she's up teaching camp this summer. I was like, it's just not the same.
Yeah. Andrew also.
So, and this was World Pride too. This was like the big one too. So I'm extra a jerk for not going out.
Let's see. Andrew Murray also added here. Do you ever think about becoming an animation teacher, Katie? Maybe at a local college.
No.
I didn't finish. I think you'd make a story teacher. Do it.
No, I don't want to teach. I'm so bad at this. You don't want me to teach.
You pitch storyboards. You know, that's basically teaching.
I don't know. I mean, maybe someday, but I'm not really good in front of crowds. And I know at school it's like they're not going to question your logic because you're up there. They assume you have marking and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, Jim Zub seems to do great with teaching and with working in the comics field. So maybe I could find a way to. I mean, the sweet health benefits would be nice.
I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
Thing is most of the animation schools are now going the route of the degrees, and I was the last year of the diploma, so I don't have a degree that would let me teach. I would need to go get a university degree to teach, or get an equivalent. So I don't know. I mean, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Maybe like I've been thinking about doing maybe workshops at some point. I was approached by a couple different sites to do storyboard workshops. So I mean, I would love to maybe put together some kind of curriculum for that. But a whole year, I don't know if I would be into like being a career teacher. I don't know. We'll see. Talk to me in 5 years.
We have a voted up at 4 for Matthew Pritchard. Hey, Katie, when you draw all the time for work, and even when you aren't at work, do your fingers and wrists get sore and ache from drawing? Do you do anything for it, or do you just deal with it and keep working?
I stretch. Just various gentle kind of stretches. Like, not this fast. You kind of let it do it, like the thumb a bit and against the wall, and then yoga has a little bit of hand stretching, but I also have a wrist guard that I wear. Where are you, wrist guard? Also, just having the Cintiq here that I can move at any angle I want makes that a lot easier. I don't know, wrist guard. I had it. The thing is, when I'm not using it anymore, I just kind of throw it around the studio, so it just kind of vanishes until I need it again. I think this happened last time too, where I was like, let me show you my wrist guard.
Shouldn't it be like accessible if it's like a health device?
This is why I shouldn't teach. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I just picked this up at Shoppers Drug Mart. So it's just like it's got kind of metal bars up here that just keep me from my wrist a bit locked down. So it keeps me from bending it around too much and just keeps it locked in, which I find helps when it gets fatigued. Thing is because I'm inking the Silly Kingdom pages now, I'm used to using the Cintiq pen, which I can set at a light pressure setting, but when I ink hard. Like, I really put the pressure in, and I find my hand aches after I've inked one page, and I have to get better at that, because I really prefer inking by hand, but, like, you're working, the Cintiq pen is a pretty nice thick with a good squishy. It's nice and ergonomic, but when you're inking with, like, gosh, I don't have a brush handy, but I mean, even just my inking pens, you're holding this hard surface and you're trying to keep it steady, so you're shoving your fingers against it, and you're putting a little too much strain into it. So you either have to find a better way to hold it. I know people that hold pens all kinds of weird ways too. Like, I know an artist that thinks like this. I know people that ink like all kinds of crazy. I mean, whatever works, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this works for now. It looks kind of cool from this side. This side, not so. It's kind of like my very silver fighting band.
I got Alicia commenting on the Sailor Moon situation. I think it's genius that Viz is releasing and redubbing it around the same time as the new anime is coming out. So basically, if you don't like the new anime one could just watch the re-releasing. Perfect timing on Viz's part. Well, Viz is releasing both, so they're just like,
smart business.
Let's just bring it all back, right? Because now's the time, right? It's hot. The moon's hot again. What's old is new again. Meanwhile, Creedy Porpoise says, it feels like they Disney princess-ified Serena.
Yeah. I hope she, I don't know. I mean, part of what I enjoyed about the series was the wacky goofiness. So I'm like, will they still make crazy expressions, or is it all just very model-esque and very delicate?
Well, that's what I'm curious about. Like, the character is largely dictated by the design as well. So if everyone at the moment from what I've seen, like I haven't seen the actual episodes yet, so I don't know. But like a lot of the faces kind of have one locked expression of kind of this like big, this glamorous shock all the time.
Yeah, that's it. It's glamour shock. That's kind of what it feels like. I just like
so
like lip gloss and giant like not a lot of crazy. Because I mean, we went back and rewatched some of the originals just like a month ago or so, and it was
Shaggy's all over the damn place to rewatch the originals.
Yeah, she's just like losing her mind all the time and making all these crazy like crying faces or angry faces, and it's just her face is just like Play-Doh. You can squish it all over the place. And I remember that was part of the appeal when I first saw her. I was just like, what is this cartoon where she's just going nuts with her facial expressions?
She's basically like a Steven Universe character where she could just like do anything.
Yeah, and that's what I really like.
Yeah. We got Glenn writing in saying, Wednesday is Glenn's Day. Give me a topic to write about. If you're curious what the hell that means, Glenn is one of our esteemed, established, astute authors on uberfriendship.com. Wednesdays are Glenn's days where he writes about something, usually about the contents of your onion rings, but he can also do other things. So if you have any topics, Glenn, write about Sailor Moon. We gotta get them views on that website. Write about how much you're excited. We'll have a screening night, Glenn. We'll watch Sailor Moon. It'll be great.
Nice.
I'm excited. I'm curious to see what happens. On that same note, the Moon Animate project is on its way to being completed. Yeah, if you're curious, I believe it's curated by Kate Sullivan. I believe I got the name right. And she's been kind of like, she went out there a while back to like bring in people to do like 5-second clips or kind of like just a single shot, a single edit of every single moment in the Sailor Moon episode. I don't know what the actual episode is in itself, but basically went around the internet and so every like 5 seconds you're gonna have like a different art style by a different creator, but all to the English dub version of a classic Sailor Moon episode. And that will hopefully be, if the scheduling is going, will be sometime mid-July or something like that. So if you're curious, look up that. It's called Moon Animate. I'm excited. It has a Tumblr. It should be on its way soon. Definitely around this time of Sailor Moon coming out again. This is more Sailor Moon for us to look forward to. So that would be a treat. Yaiba, I believe, in response to Glenn, says mermaids.
Do it.
So Glenn, do an article on mermaids and how they're actually, what was it, manatees? I don't know.
Yeah, how sailors mistook manatees for mermaids.
Yeah, then that's how the story began of the Little Mermaid. In fact, write that, Glenn. Write the Little Manatee. Wow, we actually talked a lot about Sailor Moon Crystal. That was just like one note.
We didn't talk about Comic-Con yet.
Oh yeah, Andrew. Okay, Comic-Con plans. This is for Andrew. So we're going. That's step one.
Our friend Jean got a cool hotel right on the strip.
Yeah, apparently, we're pretty close.
She's got all the luck with hotels, and we've got none of the luck with hotels.
Yeah, we have no luck at all. Our friend down LA way, like I think it's because her internet is closer to San Diego, so she gets what she wants, and we're lucky to get that island off the coast of America to stay at. But yeah,
when we try the hotel lottery, we end up by the airport.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutes magoots, as one would say. Our plans this year, I don't know what events are going on just yet, but the one thing I do know is on the Friday night, there's a live Hollywood Babylon with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman, and I got some tickets for that, happening over at the House of Blues a couple blocks north. That's exciting, because that's a podcast I listened to all the damn time when I was working. I haven't listened to it in a while, which indicates my current state of employment. But the point is, seeing it live should be a treat. Beyond that, I don't know what else is going on. Like I know I haven't looked up on the panels yet. They're only really solidified within 2 weeks of the actual Comic-Con, so within the next week or two, we'll have some more information. But as far as
I'm pretty easygoing with stuff, but Pop Figures announced a couple exclusive items that I know.
Oh, let's just get into that. So every year at San Diego Comic-Con, they have exclusives. Every big reseller and table tries to have something that everyone will just be lining up for and trying to resell online for even more and screwing out the people who actually got there to line up to buy them for themselves. Neither here nor there. Pop, the vinyl figures from Funko, you've seen them for everything you like has a Pop figure related to it, be it DC, Marvel, How to Train Your Dragon, Game of Thrones, Disney, video games like Halo and Assassin's Creed. There's a Pop figure for everything you like. They have probably one of the biggest exclusive lists I've ever seen for this Comic-Con, namely a little Hannibal. What's going on here? A little Hannibal figurine. What other ones do they have? They have this Ghostbusters set where there's a 30th anniversary covered in marshmallow goo set of all the 4 Ghostbusters, as well as a Slimer set with Slimer and
the cutest Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah. There's a lot coming out from the Funko booth. Beyond that, there's not too many other exclusives I saw that actually stood out too well. Last year, my big thing was I had to get the Archer Dolphin, Pam's workplace harassment dolphin thing. Yeah, I had to get that. That thing's fantastic. So that was fun. This year, though, nothing else has really jumped out at me just yet. But because there's always Mattel has the exclusive pony, and a lot of DC is
certain towel you're trying to get.
Oh, okay, well that was from last year though. I think it wasn't an exclusive item. It's just if you follow Archer, there's the Archer Horror Island towel.
He wants to get it and use it at Disney, and I'm like, they're not gonna let you bring a towel that says Horror Island on it into Disneyland. I'm sorry.
It's Archer though. Everyone loves Archer.
They're like, it's Archer. They're like, oh, get that out of here.
Get him out of here, guys! Woohoo! Nothing to see here. I won't do that. The point is, I do want that towel, though. But beyond that, there's no exclusives just yet that really stood out. Except back at the Funko booth, they have these kind of they look like the old Star Wars figures, but it's actually like Firefly, and they have one of like Jane and one of Mal. So it's like it looks kind of neat because it's like a little package with like the picture to the side. It's called like Reaction Figures or something like that. Oh, actually, you know what? I think it's the same company that did, if I'm right, the Aliens figurines kind of thing.
What, this one?
Does it say Reaction on it?
Ripley?
Yeah.
From Alien?
Yeah.
It's classic, I love it. Yeah, it's Reaction.
Okay, so that company, I think it's a part of Funko or they're just sharing the table or something.
You can get Dallas, Ash, Kane, and the Alien. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's going on. Beyond that, I think there may be another Gravity Falls panel, which is actually really weird because that means when did the season stop for a while? Because it froze for the September Ween or something like that.
It's starting August 1st. It's starting.
Yeah.
Season. Yeah.
But I feel that means. I'm trying to think. Did this season end and then there was Comic-Con? Because that would mean there's been 2 Comic-Con panels before the next season even started. Because I went to the one last year, which was fantastic, and we all got hats. It was great. And I know there's another one coming up. I feel like maybe this year, maybe I should not go and let some little kid actually fit into the panel room and see. Because I'm just this guy.
No, if you're a fan, you should go enjoy.
I am a fan, but I feel bad going 2 years in a row.
You shouldn't feel bad.
I'm hoping there's a Steven Universe panel.
Comic-Con is for that little kid that can't get into panels inside of you.
Yeah, I somehow managed to get to most of the stuff I want to get to. If I sit around long enough to see Archer and Bob's Burgers and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're willing to sit there in the room for a long.
I'm trying to think though. So
I really don't have any. It's weird. I feel like we were just there, so I don't know if there's anything I really plan to see. I'll probably figure stuff out. Mostly, I just want to chat with people, hang out.
We got, speaking of comics and stuff, we got Yaiba saying, okay, guys, I have to talk about Young Justice. I finally sat down to watch an episode. When I finished, I'd watched all 26 episodes. So good.
Crazy how that happens.
I'm kind of afraid to watch the second season, knowing that's all there is.
Oh, I heard good things. I've heard really good things about Young Justice. I haven't checked it out.
I've watched the first 9, and you guys heard what we had to say about it with the League of Positive Reinforcement or whatever it is, because every time Young Justice beats a bad guy, it cuts back to the League of Light or whatever they call it.
It's all according to plan.
Oh, according to plan. And I'm like, no, it isn't.
Maybe it is.
Give me that. You guys failed.
They're
you set out to do this.
They're really positive people.
Young Justice beat you. You lose. Don't spin this. Maybe that's why they're bad guys, because they're just dicks about losing. No, we didn't lose. We won. And Robin's like, no, we destroyed you. He's like, oh, that's what we wanted.
We won. No, tomorrow I'm standing.
We actually wrote it down on a little note and put it in my pocket, so when you beat me, I could pull it out of my pocket and be like, I wanted this. And then you could be like, oh, he wins in the end.
Mm.
Young Justice. If you enjoy Young Justice, look up Conan and the Flaming Sea. And you'll appreciate it more now that you've actually seen the episodes. Look up there's 3 or 4 shorts about this. It's genius. Yaiba, go check that out. The Flaming Sea.
Flaming Sea. We got the oven mitts.
Yeah. I have to finish Young Justice. That's on my list. At some point I'll do that. I did it when I was sick. It was kind of you know what, I got this fever or whatever. I'm going to watch some Young Justice. And I blast through 9 episodes in a night, or 2 nights. I was even, back when I left the living room to go to bed, I had the 3DS open because it has Netflix on it. And I'm watching Young Justice on my freaking 3DS lying down. And it streams pretty well. The 3DS handles Netflix really well. So, if you need to watch anywhere on the go, if you have internet access, you can watch your Netflix. You can probably do it on your phone, too. I don't know. I just don't. Why should I? Let me see. There's a whole whack of things to talk about. Where am I even going to go? I don't know if we've mentioned this yet, but we posted about it. A little while back, we did an interview with 2 Geeks Talking.
Yeah.
Kurt Sasso, I believe.
Yeah.
That's available. Go to 2 Geeks Talking. I forget the episode number, but we have an interview there. It's basically like this, except I'm talking less because I'm like responding to people. So if you enjoyed this but want less of it, go check out Two Geeks Talking. Look up Katie and Steven or Shaggy Shanahan episode, and that should be there. All fun and a bun and the sun. Steam sale. Let's talk about this quickly, guys. Oh yeah, and Yaiba, that is Conan O'Brien. Yes, it's great. There's actually he actually meets with Bruce Timm to design the character. Then they animate the character. It's fantastic. So look that up. Okay, so last week ended, or earlier this week, I forget, the Steam sale, summer sale. How are you guys' wallets doing? Because man, that Steam sale, that gets you. Those deals. We finally picked up the game I wanted all this time, Goat Simulator. Katie, your review.
I love it. It's so good. When you showed me the trailer for it, I was like, this is the game I've been wanting my whole life and didn't even know it. I remember being like, I just want to play like Assassin's Creed, but not when you have to do anything. I just want to run around. And you were like, well, have I got the game for you?
I got the game for you. It's called Goat Simulator. Here's how it works. It's Assassin's Creed with goats, basically.
And they look really weird when they climb things. Oh, it's so fun. So yeah. I remember even just me describing to Jerry and him being like, how can that be fun? Like, just come in here and look, and within a minute he was cracking up. And you were just showing that thing. Because it runs into oil tankers and explodes. It runs into a car and a car explodes and shoots the goat in the air, and you don't ever die, so you're just flailing around and smashing into things and grabbing people with your tongue and dragging them. Like, it's just crazy. It's so crazy. And then you get all those weird superpowers where you can call goats to rain from the sky and just land on people. It's the best.
Well, yeah, because throughout the game, when you're running around, you can unlock new abilities. Like, you can get this halo, which lets you, like, if you hold jump, you just kind of glide around the world and stuff. And you combine this with all these other powers to summon goats from the sky, to control physics and make things swirl around you. Like, it is one of the most bizarre games ever. And people have been modding it and stuff to add, like, Shrek and things, of course, to the game. If you haven't played it yet, get yourself a copy of Goat Simulator on Steam. You missed the sale, but still definitely worth it.
It's totally worth it.
Well, that was the thing. Like, I plugged into my TV and was playing on like Steam Big Mode, so I'm just sitting on the couch so I can like watch a Goat Simulator on the big screen.
HD Goat.
Yeah, I was saying long neck goat is the best goats. I somehow got like giant goat, and I don't know how I did it, but I felt like my character model was bigger than normal. I'm like, what the hell? How did this happen? Like, stuff just kind of happens. You at least suspect it. It's definitely it's a sandbox game. Like, I'm still trying to figure out in the San Francisco level how to stay on the roller coaster. It is impossible.
You need to grab one with your tongue.
I did, but I got flailed around and I was set deep under the sea. And it was so bizarre. And then I was like riding bicycles and half pipes.
You can ride a bike as a goat, and he's just like, it's such a chore to try and keep him balanced.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Goat Simulator is like my game of the year, because BioShock came out last year, whatever, Infinite. So.
Yeah, we can't all be BioShock.
2014
so
game of the year.
Goat Simulator. It's so fun.
What else did I pick up? Steam sale. Oh man. Yeah. That's the fun thing too. If people can enjoy it. There's also Dive Kick, which I finally picked up, which is the fighting game with 2 buttons: dive and kick.
I found that one got a little bit old for me pretty quick.
Honestly, but you're ridiculously good at it. I was trying strategy.
Yeah, I'm just so good at it that it's just not a challenge.
You mastered dive kick and got bored.
I'm really good at diving and kicking.
Fair enough. There is strategy though, I swear. It's like that thing where like, this is the one thing that always comes back to. Did you ever watch or read Angelic Lair?
Yeah,
It's this Clamp series, which is kind of like, I know I don't want to spoil nothing, but basically the premise is kind of like Pokemon-ish, but instead of little animals, you get to beat the piss out of each other. You go to a toy store and you buy this like egg on the Barbie aisle shelf, and you get to customize and create your little angel.
So that stuff seems really exciting because you're making your cute little doll version. I don't know why they have to fight. You can just
because you put a helmet on, and then you control them, and then they fight. And I don't know if it's like you're fighting or you're just telling it to fight. I forget. The point is, it's basically you're kind of like shonen type story of like get stronger, beat this person, get stronger, beat this person, but done by Clamp and with a bunch of interesting backstory that makes you go and stuff like that.
And that character's from this and what? And adorable costumes.
But the point is, though, the reason I get to this is because there's one interesting thing that happened, and like the second last battle, where it's like two of the best characters, the best fighters in the game, they're so good that the battle would be decided by one move, right? Like they're so good that there's this long stare down, and then it's just one move will end everything, you know.
Yeah.
And so very like traditional samurai across the field.
Yeah, or it's you wait for it and then
you
switch.
because they're both so top tier. That's how the fight has to be and over. And whoever won that was then going against the main character who. What are you doing?
Just moving lights around.
Okay. Whoever won that, the main character would be going up against that person next. So this was the last round. So where else? That the two top tier characters when they fight, it's a one single hit. But then when it goes back to the main character fight, it just turns into like another regular brawl. Now you're running away, so I can't ask you your opinion. Hi.
I'm sorry, the lighting in here is being a little weird.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the point I'm trying to make is, when it's like two top tier players, it's decided by something so technical and so like, incredible or so one hit kill. But then when it's the main character against this top tier person, it's another fight, just like back and forth, hits, and she'll eventually win or whichever it is. And that always stood out as really bizarre and interesting to me. And I'm not sure if this applies to, dive kick in the same way.
This dive kick.
But I'm thinking about that. It's kind of like when you fight. When it's like top tier players, they know they know you're going to pull 100 different moves. This happened in that Battle Angel Alita book. It was a part of Last, what's it called? It's the new series, Last something.
Order?
Last Order. And it's like the character knew all of her moves and knew how to defeat her every way. And so when she rushed at her, in her mind, Alita jumped and then got killed. And that's what the person did. But she didn't actually jump because she was thinking about doing it, and the person knew that she would do it. So the person swung at her not moving at all. Like she swung at where she was going to be because she knew her move so well that she knew she was going to jump. But Alita didn't actually jump, and so it's that weird thing where it's like it's so top tier that you know everything that you can't predict an untop tier scenario kind of thing.
That's why you need that rock fu where it's like you just are so unpredictable. No one knows where you're going to move.
So I find that interesting. I don't know if that's like a case in the fighting game circuit where it's like he can only do all these moves, but if you fight someone who doesn't know all the timing moves, they can beat you. Like I see that in Smash.
That's why I say with beginner's luck, where you just don't know what you're doing, so you're just going crazy, and then no one knows how to read you at all because you're just smashing buttons.
Yeah.
You don't know what's possible or impossible yet, so you just
do everything versus trying to be technical. Like I see that in Smash Bros all the time too. Where it's kind of like someone who knows all the moves, has the setup, and then someone who's willy-nilly.
I guess that's the thing with the chosen one trope.
Stuff out and still winning.
Yeah, the whole chosen one trope, I guess, is just beginner's luck. It's just someone who comes along that knows nothing, so they'll just go and make random choices and win.
Yeah. Who knows? Do you guys have Steam? Just curious. Right in. Because I have games online. Because the other game we also got was Typing of the Dead Overkill, which is basically like you're playing House of the Dead, but it's a grindhouse film. Instead of guns, you're typing at zombies, like sentences and phrases and names and Shakespearean quotations.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to learn your typing in a very stressful environment, get yourself a copy of Typing of the Dead Overkill with its multiple DLC packs, including the foul language pack, the movie pack, the music pack, and the Shakespearean pack. That was a thing. Oh man, I actually didn't grab a drink for this show. What time is it? It's 9:13. I can bear it up. We got Matthew Pichard saying, it's like Sherlock Holmes and his Holmes vision, where he sees everything before it happens.
Yeah.
But in that case, it always works out just so, doesn't it?
Well, there was a funny one where one of the latest episodes.
I think we're talking about the movies.
I was gonna say, in season. Oh, okay. Well, because in the TV show, he always looks at stuff he sees
But he doesn't see the future.
I know what you're talking about. He's like, if I punch here, then this will happen, and then
Yeah, that was the gimmick of the movie, where it's like he foresaw everything, then
acted
it. It was actually I like that. It was actually a neat system because it showed you everything in slow motion and details, and then it just happens in real time, like boom, 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 and it kind of shows you how his thought process would make something that looks like it happens instantaneously, but it shows how it was happening broken down each step of the way.
Yeah.
Versus a guy doing block, block, block action. It's like you'll see each one in high detail slowly, and then it happens really fast. So I think that was a neat feature of those movies. Got Yaiba saying drunken boxing. Well, there is a term in fighting game called new tech, when a new, and then the sentence is cut off, so I don't know what happens next. I don't know what's going to happen.
Right in. What do you think happens next?
A new player brings new moves or a new way of using move sets that people haven't predicted. And this is addressed better than anywhere I've ever seen in the Smash Bros. Documentary series that was on YouTube. I think it still is. I forget what it's called, but check it out. It's a fascinating documentary because it shows the waves of who's using what characters and what moves and what reasons. And like near the end of the Smash Bros. Melee generation, someone brought out Jigglypuff and started making her like top tier because she was just destroying everybody with that Jiggly Sleep move. And then everyone started playing Jigglypuff after that. And it's interesting to see like when someone reveals a character can be used in such a way, everyone gravitates, and that becomes a new norm.
Cheap though.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's a challenge.
Oh man, yeah, that new Smash Bros. Man, it's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
The guest version in October. There's not too much else to say about the Steam sale. Speaking of games, last week on the Friday, I believe, we had ourselves a game here. We played the tabletop game, Ladies and Gentlemen.
That was fun.
It is an interesting game in that it is technically two games going on at the same time that in odd ways interact with each other. You're either a lady or a gentleman.
Right.
And you pick teams, or couples, if you will. The way it works is, both at the same time, there's three different phases: morning, afternoon, and nights. And this is kind of like set in like silly, kind of like old, I don't know if it's Paris or whatever it is, but the goal is you and your lady, the lady and the gentleman have to get to the ball, and the lady has to have the most dazzling dress and gain all these points.
Win at society.
Basically win it, yeah, it's a society winning game. But to do that, through a series of 6 days with a division of morning, afternoon, night, you're doing multiple things. Let's see. So the morning, the ladies go off to the shops, the gentlemen go off to the stock markets. And it could be like anyone could be anyone. So like the first time I played, I was a lady and Helen was a gentleman. First time Katie played, I think you were a gentleman on my side when I was a gentleman again. And the point is, it's like whoever plays as the ladies, they go off to the shops to set up what's going to be like the main items in the window and stuff like that, and all these details and things. And then on the other side, the gentlemen are kind of collecting resources and stuff. And what this, I explain, it kind of sets it up as is, the ladies' side, it feels very much like the game Dominion, if you ever played it. Whereas the gentlemen feel more like Settlers of Catan. It's all about resources and trading and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So are you showing off panels, or what you up today?
Yeah, I might as well show what I'm working on.
Oh, okay. This is what Kay's working on right now. And it's your face thing.
Yeah. If you're watching this show, it shouldn't be spoilers, because if you're watching this show, I assume you've already pre-ordered Silly Kingdom, in which case I've already sent you the...
I just have a picture of your icon, so I don't know if it's showing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Weird.
Cool.
Strange.
Okay, so, what was I thinking? Alright, so the game works like this, that in the morning, there's all setup going on. In the afternoon, the ladies are going shopping at specific shops and picking out items and trying to get the best star rating on these items, but not knowing how much money that the gentlemen have, because right now on the other side of the table, in secret, because no one really is able to communicate what they have on their sides, the gentlemen are trying to make money by fulfilling specific missions in the factories and things like that, and attributing resources to this and this and that. And gaining money and bonuses, and there's turn order and this and this and that. Then at night, the two finally meet up where the players on the ladies' side of the table hand all their purchases to the gentleman's side of the table and not telling them which ones they want, because they would like to have all of them. Strategically, there's reasons for having one or the other. And the gentlemen have to decide, based on how much money they have, if they're able to pay for any of this or all of it or some of it or return it. And then the day starts again the next day, and this goes on for 6 days until we get to the ball. And it's... If you ever want to play a game that just contains madness and a lot of role-playing and stuff, try to find yourself a copy of Ladies and Gentlemen.
It's pretty fun.
Is it working this time? Are you showing? There you go.
I mean, I'm seeing it. Yeah, what I enjoy is the, did you describe the wild card yet?
Oh, I didn't get to that yet. Okay, so there's couples. If there's an even amount of players, it's just like you have up to 5 couples, which is a 10-player game, which is actually really rare when it comes to a lot of tabletop gaming. Like, it's usually like 6 is the max. We can have up to 10. If you ever have an odd number of players, though, such as 9 or 7, that you still have all couples, but the extra player acts as the courtesan. And in this scenario, the courtesan acts just like a lady, but she's allowed to like give all her purchases to any of the gentlemen on the table. And it's in the gentleman's interest to buy all these items, because if the courtesan loses, then the person who attributed least to the courtesan can raise a scandal at the ball and bring that team down.
Ruin your reputation.
Ruin your reputation. Lots of social strategy going on. Oh, cool. We're going to show you drawing. There you go. Lots of strategy going on. The game is, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a bit to learn, but once you get it going, it's a bit of a riot.
I think it was the courtesan that got me the most like aggravated, because it's like I need to buy a $900 dress for my wife, and then suddenly the courtesan's like, here, and passes me like this stupid fan that's like $1,000. I'm just like, oh, I don't want to get this. Can we afford to swipe the courtesan?
Yeah. It's a really interesting game and really worth checking out. Now you guys don't need to see my face. We just leave it on Katie drawing for now. This is a learning show after all. We got Louis Nato saying, I picked up Battle Block Theater on the Steam sale. Really hilarious narration for the game made by the creators of Castle Crashers. Yes. I picked that up too in a weird way, because the Steam sale is really strange, or sometimes the bundles are cheaper than the individual games. Because when I saw Battle Block, it was like maybe like 80 off or something like that. But there was a bundle with Castle Crashers and Battle Block that was like 90 off. And so I got that one, which is weird. But there you go. And yeah, the narrator is nuts. And you can track him down. He actually has his own YouTube channel where he does a lot of really strange voiceover stuff. Some may call it offensive, but check it out if you got the time. Because he's a silly individual. And really, his voice is up in the same registry as like Invader Zim. He's got that kind of like high, not as high as Zim's, but yeah, raspy, higher voice. Very interesting guy, and his narrative is great in that game. The commercials for the game alone are great too, where it's just his voiceover being like, why you should buy Battle Block on Steam and stuff now, and it's really funny if you haven't seen them yet. Okay.
Okay, don't like these expressions.
Let me think what we got here. We got Terrell saying, I just applied for my first ever table at VanCaf like 5 seconds ago.
Ooh, very nice.
Congratulations.
I saw they had an early application.
Yeah. Oh, the applications are out already?
Yeah.
All right. Well, go. Honestly, it's a treat. VanCaf was fun this year. It was a great environment, lots of fun people. The Japa Dog stand is just outside.
Yeah. Everybody should go.
Yeah, everyone should go to VanCaf at some point. It's a nice con. It's fun. Like Vancouver is beautiful to check out. Hell, I'd like to live there someday for a bit. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, check out VanCaf. Going through comments, a bunch actually just disappeared. I think it was about Smash Bros. Sorry, we sometimes miss topics because point is, we got Andrew saying, off topic. I think you should go ahead with wearing a pizza costume as a wedding dress.
Yeah.
Is that a thing from earlier?
Yeah. It's on topic for Twitter conversations.
Okay, so if you follow Andrew Murray on the Twitter, perfectly rational what he said.
You should follow us both on Twitter and stalk our conversations, and this will all make sense.
Yeah, follow along. That was ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of, all right, you guys will let me segue. This is beautiful.
Speaking of ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of a guy doing voiceovers for a game, I finally did the unthinkable.
What's that?
After all these years, 11 or so, when was 2007? I don't know. I finally sent off my voice demo reel to an agency.
About time.
What? Him doing things to pursue those dreams is impossible. Well, dreams may possibly sort of come true if you act on them. And so after all of these years, I finally built up the gumption, the will, whatever else you need.
It seems like I just go for it.
Yeah, I did it. So that's that story. It may not be a big deal. Some people are like, oh, of course that's what you do. But, like, I never did it. I never did the voice thing. I kept avoiding it. I kept thinking I wasn't ready. It wasn't good enough. You know, I'll get rejected. So I'm just going to keep doing motion graphics and editing. But no, like, now's the time. You know, I'm getting on in the years. No, I'm still youthful. Shut up. I feel great. My voice still works. My voice still works. So I sent off the reel, and I want to send a bunch more this week, hopefully. Start some communication. And if I'm lucky, who knows? Maybe I'll fulfill my dream of being in an awful arcade game. That's actually I always wanted to be like
stars.
I always wanted to be in like House of the Dead, so I could be like, Agent G, no!
You know what's weird? I think a lot of people look at like people they really look up to, and that's their benchmark. You look at things that are terrible, and you're like, I can do better than that.
No, it's not even that. I figure like that would be fun. I always wanted to be
okay. Well, figure like there's all these terrible video game voiceovers, and I can do that. Like,
yeah, I aim for the possible, put it that way. And the point is, I always wanted to be in like first fighting games and stuff like that, because those always seem like so much fun. We just get to like shout. I'm generally simplifying a lot of things. I apologize, but the point is, it seemed fun to be like able to shout things out, like "You are no match," and a warrior needs to do a thing, like all those like nice quotes and things. And you just go ha ha, back kick, It still sounds better in Japanese. Point is, we got Glenn saying, "I'm curious, why do you repeatedly cancel your brush strokes? Why do you cancel your brush strokes, Katie?"
Because I don't like the line it's made.
She's looking for the perfect line. And they only come once.
This thing takes forever to come out, so I'm like, no, yes, no, line, no, yes, okay. Next, moving on to the next line.
Yeah.
Well, especially with faces, like this expression isn't really. I don't feel like it's got the energy that the rough had. So when I inked it, I don't really love how it turned out. So I'm gonna keep nibbling at it till I'm happy with it. I could usually let stuff go, like, because I like this rough here, like, I really like Marcus's face here, and I don't really feel like I caught that in the final ink.
Right.
Same with the unicorn, there's something kind of funnier about its expression, there's something more oval about the eyes, so I'm probably going to just keep tweaking at these.
Yeah,
so, I mean, if you want to make it back, I don't think people want to keep watching me delete and redo the same line 100,000 times.
It's more interesting than my face. I'm, like, covered in bizarre blue shadows.
It's better than weird watches. I'm just like, no, it's not me. That's the broom.
Well, they get to see the process, and if they're focusing on their own work, all the better, because they can like look at your brush palette and be like, oh, she's using the 7. Oh, it's the 4 now. Oh, or is that 7?
I'm not using very good brushes. I'm just I used to have good Photoshop brushes, and I lost them.
Oh, really?
So now I just have regular blah brushes.
Yeah. Ariel Chan saying, "Congrats, Shaggy. How does a voice reel work? What goes into it?" I hope I did I hope I put what's supposed to go into it. In general, from all these years of, basically for years and years, like way back when in 2005 and stuff, I was on like the Voice Acting Alliance and stuff. It's a website that you can get all amateur voice actors to do like free little strange projects, be it fan dubs or I guess abridged, whatever it is nowadays. But like back then I was doing a lot of radio plays and things and like studying up on all, doing all the research and interviews and stuff. And like the voice thing, basically a voice reel, depending on for its intention, you'd have different ones. If it's for commercial, like narrative purposes, you have a different one than if you had a character one, a singing one, and this and that. But for the character one, ideally, all these reels are supposed to be like a minute long at most, and just kind of contain enough variety of different kinds of voices you can do, just to give them an idea of what your range is. And like some of the learning I went through, like some of the things I read and listened to was finding about how to like compile voices. Like one example is like, oh, you could do a troll voice and you could do an old man voice. Why not merge those two? So you save room on your reel for other stuff, and that way you kind of show whoever's listening, sound to whoever's listening that you're able to do both of them separately as well. Because like it was like anyone worth their salt can separate that out. And so knowing you can do an old man voice and a troll voice.
You're like, well, if that's the case, let's merge every single voice I have.
Just do one sentence for the whole video, and you can use your mind to break it down. These are just like random tips. I don't know what actually works or not. It's also based on what people are looking for.
You're just like, bleep. They're like, that's amazing! So much variety and potential.
Yeah, like, so essentially what's on my reel was just, like, stuff I've done over the years, like, voices for other people's projects and things, cutting it all together into, like, a minute-long variety of hopefully something that indicates what I'm capable of, or hopefully I am capable in that respect. We'll see. See what happens. I got to send more out, because, you never know. You just got to keep... This is the hard part. I know it gets harder, too, after that, but for now, it's like you just got to keep getting out there and hoping for the best. We have Andrew Murray writing, I believe I did hear this news too. Did you guys hear Bob Hastings died, the voice of Commissioner Gordon on Batman the Animated Series? Yeah, I did. I read that happened, and it's one. I unfortunately don't know. I didn't read up on his whole kind of biography of work, but definitely growing up watching the Batman animated series, that was our Gordon. That was the Commissioner Gordon we got to know. The one with like the white hair and Batman, whatever. It's just like
Yeah.
you gotta. These are the characters we grew up with, and us growing up too means they grow up as well, and eventually, a lot of our favorite actors do pass on, but they can always be remembered, of course, through the works they've done. This was kind of the same case with, I apologize, I'm not knowing the names too well, but the guy who played Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince, when he passed away, I was reading up on him, and I didn't know, but he was Shredder from the Ninja Turtles that we grew up with. Turtle Soup, like that guy. I'm like, get out, he was Shredder? Like, that's crazy. I didn't know that growing up. Uncle Phil was also Shredder. And like, all their works have been recorded and, like, kept forever, that generations after us can still enjoy it too. If you get your DVDs of your Ninja Turtles, that Shredder lives on. And the same case with this our Commissioner Gordon here. So get your stuff, your Batman animated series DVD box sets. Rewatch some classic Batman. Yeah, and I'm not sure if he did any of the characters in the games. Did he? Because I know they tried to get a lot of the animated voice actors to be in the games as well. We have Ariel Chan saying, Katie, did you pencil your pages digitally?
I did. This is actually my pencils right underneath. They're pretty tight.
Yeah.
They're like laser tight. And then inks on top. So now, once I put it back in, I'm just doing final tweaks. Get it to a place I'm very happy with.
Yeah.
Thing is, I could probably just let a lot of stuff go. But I'm just like, no, this must be perfect nostril. But it's like, in the bigger scheme of things, it doesn't really matter, and I need to kind of make myself just go for it. But I don't know, I find with storyboards, I kind of let a lot of stuff slide. So with comics, I want to put a bit more time into it.
Yeah. A little more focus. What else we got going on here? Steam here. Interview. All right, this is actually stuff I want to talk about last week. So way back when I was in New York at the MoMA, they had an exhibit for Tim Burton.
Way back when.
It was the Tim Burton exhibit. It also came to Toronto too, and I think I had mostly the same stuff. I don't know if it was as big of a venue. I didn't go to that one. The point is, one of the things that stood out to me most was they had Tim Burton's rendition of Hansel and Gretel, which was like only apparently, if I remember correctly, what I read at the time at the exhibit, it only aired once on ABC or something like that, and like once ever, because it was one of the most bizarre and strange things you'll ever see. Recently, it surfaced on YouTube, and I was actually looking for it for years, and no one was really talking about it. Do yourself a favor, if it's still on YouTube, look up Tim Burton, Hansel and Gretel, and it is fascinating.
Is it creepy?
It's Tim Burton.
Do I need to ask, I guess?
I don't even know if creepy is the right word, because it's not like it's not so like tonally dark visually. It's just more of his like swirly, stripy kind of things.
Yeah.
And there's like definite stuff where you're like, yeah, that's Tim Burton happening in it. So right now, write it down. Tim Burton, Hansel and Gretel. It is a treat. In the terms of that, to use puns, because there's candy and blah 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 blah.
The candy must look really good.
If I recall, if I recall it correctly, it's not too different from like the candy and Hook, like the food, how it's all like gelatin and blubber and stuff.
Like kind of gross looking.
Yeah, deliciously disgusting.
There's better things.
Like you're eating flour and icing sugar. Stop it. The food diet.
There's better candy. We're starving.
That's something definitely to check out. That you guys gonna want to do. Do you guys still see me? The signal is blinking on and out. We got Angie Chan writing, how did Canada Day do? If you did not mention that already. We did talk about Canada Day off the top. I will say we didn't actually do too much on Canada Day proper. It was mostly the day before. I went to the Harbourfront Centre to see some fireworks and walk under the Ryan Gosling lights and eat some fries and stuff, and that was kind of like my Canada Day. But the actual Canada Day itself, I kind of spent at home. So
As the most Canadian place I can be is in my own house.
Yes. It's on Canadian property, so we felt we did celebrate it. Someone actually wrote in about pink pencil and disappeared it, or deleted it, as the word would be. Someone asked something about, is your pencil pink or orange? I thought it was orange when you printed it.
I'll make it more orange. I have orange pencils. But when I ink, I kind of just I actually when I pencil on the computer, my pencils are black because I'm just sketching on the computer. But I make them all red or orange when I print them out. But I also have orange color erase pencils that I draw with on top of it. So if I'm doing tweaks or if I'm just drawing on the paper, I use red. But I mean, it's I could make this any color. I could change it to blue if I wanted to. And well, the purple. Now my pencils are purple.
Oh.
But I mean, it's the same kind of thing. It's like for scanning it in. Like if I wanted to make it non-repo blue, I could print them a light blue instead.
Oh
but
gosh, that's
I don't know. I haven't responded yet, but I actually did get an ask on Tumblr about why a lot of people are going red, and I don't know if I can answer for a lot of people, but for me, I don't know. I find I was using blue so much in college that I just wanted to change, and then maybe the red is a little easier on the eyes. I don't know. Just my preference.
We got Katie Figueroa saying in all caps, "I am finally not at work for one of these hello Shanahanigans."
Hello!
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for skipping work.
Well, or finishing work, whichever.
Or finishing, like a good person.
I think we have maybe like just under half an hour left, so if you have questions and stuff, be sure to throw it our way. Because I'm just like digging into like the bottom of the barrel at this point, stuff we meant to talk about like weeks ago, but since we were away, we didn't. Speaking of things we were supposed to talk about last week, but since we were away, the week before last week, or 2 weeks ago, we went to Steam on Queen.
Oh, yeah!
See, that's what happens when we miss shows.
Yeah, it was fun.
If you're wondering, Steam on Queen is a steampunk festival. Do that again. Steampunk festival on Queen Street at the Campbell House or Canby House?
Yeah, Campbell House.
Somewhere near University.
Yeah, right by the opera/ballet house.
Yeah, and essentially it's just like the whole front garden area and the fence all had tents and displays, all selling steampunk goodery, be it like shirts and hats and goggles and gems and rings and little coats.
Lockets and compasses and pocket watches and fireflies and bats and all.
Yeah, everything you could ever want. I didn't actually end up buying anything, but had like all the kinds of pocket watches you could ever want.
I bought some jewelry that I was happy with, but I don't know if you've ever had this problem, but it's kind of that thing where it's like the metal is some kind of cheap quality that just smells weird. It's kind of this metallic gross, and I'm like, when you wear it on your skin, suddenly all you can smell is just that metallic gross smell. So I need to kind of reset the pendant in another chain because the chain is really gross. I'm just like, is it sweat? I don't know what it is.
Also in the middle of the whole market, they had like a setup for the ribbon. What's that called? Like the ribbon dancing thing where people like tie them. Silk
dancing. Yeah.
Silk dancing, where like the people like twist themselves up and
incredible. There was a
spin and
girl
stuff.
who was dancing around to the Game of Thrones theme, and she was amazing. She would do these things where she would set herself up and it would look like she was falling, but she twisted it in such a way that the ropes would catch her. And she'd be in a really cool pose, and it was just incredible looking.
Where she'd make like a silk cocoon and then emerge and stuff.
Yeah! And I was just like, this is hard work! You people should applaud, boy, this is really hard work! It was really cool.
Fun. That was a little while ago.
And music and all kinds of good stuff.
There's actually like a pie shop out around back, but we already ate just before it, so we didn't get a chance to check that out.
Damn now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I would like to have a steampunk-like outfit.
Yeah, I feel weird not wearing anything, right? Like not wearing the steam kind of.
Yeah, because there was this group of awesome older ladies. Like I think they were in their 60s, like all white-haired, and it was like a group of them, like maybe 5 of them and some gentlemen, and they were dressed to the nines as like steampunk, just elite. It was amazing. It looked incredible, and I was like, I want to be you when I grow up. That's
there's this dude, like this elderly dude, who had this like big top hat with a functioning clock in the middle of it, like ticking around, just like not. I don't think it was like not a glass clock added to it. It was like literally the hands were on the hat, spinning and things like that. So you could look at him and tell the time. It was great.
You're like, where's that man? I need to know what. And then there's another guy with the bus schedule. It was great.
Also, it's like 2 minutes till the streetcar shows up.
It's 2 miles. There's this new Cirque du Soleil show is Cabinet of Curiosities, which is very steampunk, Victorian, Jules Verne's era technology and all that fun stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, but they were advertising that there.
Well, I've made the mistake of like clicking on that thing once, and now every website is telling me about this Cirque du Soleil show, and I'm like, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I looked at it once, and now everywhere I go, it's like, oh, Cirque du Soleil Curiosity with a Q or a K. I'm like, all right, I get it. I get it. I'm gonna go. I'll see your show. Leave me alone, internet. Friggin' internet. Andrew asked a little seconds ago, saying, when's the next Misery Kitchen? Funny you asked that.
You should get Andrew on it.
I think that's, yeah, it's funny he asked that because I was thinking about doing one soon. I want to see when you were available, Andrew. Oh, am I visible or is it just a word bubble? Those things glitching all over the place. I'm going to jump back to Katie for a sec. Yeah, I was actually going through my boxes of small Japanese candy, make-it-yourself food dinner things, and checking which ones weren't expired.
Yeah.
And being like, I wonder if Andrew wants to come over and make one. So tell me your schedule.
Totally do one.
I think I'm busy most next week because I've signed up for something. But the week actually the week after the week before Comic-Con, or wait a minute, where are we?
We should have a special Guys with Pencils episode of Misery Kitchen where you make 2 meals.
Oh, gosh, realize how complicated that would be.
Would Adam even go for that, or would he just be like, no, this is stupid?
I want to do that. I'm like, all right.
You're like, we're making itty ramen.
Maybe. We'll have to get Andrew to ask.
Hilarious.
Yeah, there'll be jokes. Let's see. What's going on this week is Atomic Lollipop is next week. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. Con Bravo's the week after, and then it's San Diego Comic-Con the week after that. So I don't know, within one of those weeks. The week, Andrew, what's the week of the 14th like for you? To film a Misery Kitchen with you. Just get in touch and let me know. Okay, I'll keep you posted on that.
I don't like this
Oh, is Creepy Porpoise in town? Because Elizabeth was saying, Jim and I were at the Eaton Center while you were tweeting about the thing. We had no idea what it was, though. Wish I'd check it out. Is it the steampunk thing? Were you tweeting about steampunk?
Oh, maybe.
Creepy Porpoise, are you still in town, or did we miss you?
Creepy.
Are you tweeting from Portland? What's going? What? We have Mario Kart here. You should come over. It's good.
Actually, anybody with what is it? The online code.
Yeah.
What's are you cool? Can you get your username?
Oh, just look up Shaggy Shan on the Nintendo Network.
And race us.
You can join us for some Mario Kart.
We had a good time with our friend Bosho Kafo and
Jason Kafo
Rachel
show.
Who was she? She was
show.
She was a really creepy character.
Yeah, we like a good round of Mario Kart. Yeah, so get back to us, creepy, if you're still in town, because like I still have like most of the rest of the week off, but then I got something I signed up for next week, so I gotta disappear, and I can't tell you what it is.
Secret.
It's secret.
I know what it is.
And it's anytime I keep secrets, they're really not that interesting. The fact that the secret is about it.
I mean, I come in the door like, I'm not allowed to talk about what I'm working on. Okay, here it is. And you're like, oh, do you want to tell? I don't even know if I want to know. I'm like, no. Okay, so this is
we got Katie Figura saying it's Fried Chicken Day. Is Fried Chicken Day international? I don't even know that it's real, but KFC advertises it. Adverts insist.
Isn't today like UFO Day?
Yeah, that's
like
what Angie says is Tumblr says it's Flying Saucer Day today.
Yeah, it's Flying Saucer and Fried Chicken Day.
Okay. Wait, is that today or tomorrow? Oh shit, is KFC still open? Not that they need a day for us to celebrate them, because they get enough. In fact, here's the fun. All right, this is probably, I don't know, this is internet heresy. This is gonna ruin you kids. And
is it heresy or heresy?
Yeah, one or the other. Now, outside of the regular reasons why you should be horrified by KFC's practices, this was like a news story that came up.
Chicken practices.
Here's one extra thing. I don't know if this is just like Tumblr screwing with us and we're spreading the word, but I'll tell it anyway because a funny story is a funny story. It's not as funny as it is gross. The point is, it's not like gross, but it's like what the hell gross. So some kid, like the family got the chicken. I don't know if it was like it wouldn't be like the legs and stuff because it'd be more obvious, but it was like the dippers or whatever the hell it is, like the nuggets.
No.
And the kid bites into it, and it's like the picture is like there's this like something blue inside. No, it's not mold. It's a blue paper towel.
Ew! What the frick?
So basically, the kid bit into like this like deep fried KFC paper towel, And I'm just like, huh.
Oh, for real? So it wasn't even chicken, it was deep fried
Yeah,
paper
it wasn't
towel.
chicken at all, and it wasn't like disease. It was a paper towel that's gotten to the breading or something. Now this could just be like one of those ludicrous internet things where it's like, oh, I heard a story where Subway, the guy at Subway killed a man and then sold him as a foot long, and it's like, oh, I don't know if that's real, but
There was a foot and a foot long.
I don't know. It's like he's the Sweeney Todd of Subway, I tell you. I'm just like, all right.
It's like that Jared guy who's like, I'm so thin from eating Subway.
Oh, yeah. This guy. Apparently, though, Fried Chicken Day is the 6th of July, so this July 6th, enjoy your deep-fried paper towels, KFC. Da-da-da-da-da. That's not their theme song. Alien Chicken Wings, says Angie. I'm down for that. That sounds like a band.
I am not down.
Angie, let's start a band called Alien Chicken Wing.
Alien
Our self-titled debut, Alien Chicken Wing. Glenn says that I need ad blocker, but I love the Cirque du Soleil advertisements. And Creepy Porpoise says she's in town until the 22nd.
But what?
Oh, you're here like all damn month then. Jeez. That's fun. What you guys up to? You guys got an aquarium yet? There's a fish.
There is a fish.
They have a fish there, I hear, at the aquarium.
There might be more than a fish.
Check out a fish at aquarium. This is part of the show where I'm losing my mind because I'm dehydrated.
Me too, I'm all out.
What's that I said about like standing up every 45 minutes? I'm still in my...
Everybody, stand up.
Alright, everyone, it's time for the stretch. Do you remember Big Comfy Couch? Who made this big mess? Okay, we're back.
I'm still stretching, but you can't see.
I don't want to stand up because then you see my stomach
Aww.
full of chicken towels. Jeez. Oh man. We got Katie Figueroa saying Shaggy making up new theme songs for fast food is always preferable to real themes. Well, at least it shows that like their marketing didn't work so well that I remember it. Oh well.
On some level, though.
Man, wait, Glenn said this before. He says, Katie,
What?
you're like a plastic surgeon on the prince's face. You lasso-tooled his mouth twice and redrawn his eyes like 70 billion Billunti.
This is why I can't do tutorials. If I do like live show drawings, it's just you watching me draw. It's like you put that line, no, you erase that line and you put the exact same line down again. I'm like, no, you don't understand.
That blows my mind. This is the thing that blows my mind with any of those video tutorials on YouTube where you see mistakes and stuff and the guy's correcting it. Because it's like, I guess it's maybe they don't have any editing software or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's like, and then you do this. Oh, wait. Damn it.
Oh.
Give me a sec. Okay.
Yeah,
then you do this. I'm like, you could have just cut that out.
I'm not at that point yet where I could just put down the proper line. Like, you're supposed to see it in your head and then put it in. I can't quite do that yet. But I mean, you spend all the hours just slaving and suffering, and then you go to a con, someone's like, so what is this, Archie? You're like, yes.
Yeah, well, we get that a lot. Whenever you see the prince, people are like, it's Reggie, and then it's just like, yeah, because there's only one angry guy with black hair in all comics. Good.
Well, and then the jester with the crown, it's just totally...
Like, oh, did you pick up the latest Powers? It features Reggie. He's got black hair. He's angry. It's called Reggie Superpowers comic. It's great. Image owns Reggie.
I would love to do an Archie comic, actually, like an official...
What's Superman and Young Justice? Is that Reggie? He's got black hair.
I think it's mostly because it's got the jester hat, too.
Yeah.
He's not wearing a crown, though. He's wearing a jester hat.
Yeah, it's clearly not the same thing. Look, I'm not even being sarcastic. Look, it's a different hat. Oh, my God. Fine. Sure, of course, everything's Reggie. It's great. We got Matthew Pritchard. Matthew Ricochet saying, on a random note, do you two have any suggestions on some Studio Ghibli films I should check out? I just recently found out about it because I heard good things about some of their films. Where to begin? Okay, we'll begin. Time for the patented Shanahanigans Live Studio Ghibli meter. I don't know if I can actually rank them. It's easier to do with Pixar. Okay. All right. You know what? Here we go. This is how we're going to do this.
That's what you're in the mood for.
We're going to do the Moodo-meter. This is Captain Moodo-meter here.
Okay.
And he's going to tell you.
Okay, so I've been trying to figure out who I am and what I'm going to do with my life, and I want to feel good. that
Really good?
that has a bit of magic and is in a beautiful seaside town that's not too rustic, but maybe like a nice city by the
Are
seaside.
you in a bakery mood too, by chance?
I love baking.
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta watch yourself some Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh,
a heartwarming
this
tale
sounds
that up front you think it's all about magic, but it's really about finding out who you are and coming of age as a young wizardly witch or whatever people
That
are.
sounds pretty magical to me.
Magic person on a broom. Seaside towns inspired by like San Francisco and other stuff, plus bakeries, and the conflict is more internal. You go and watch yourself some Kiki. But if you're saying, I don't need this magic mumbo jumbo, I went through the Harry Potter, well, you're going to want to get yourself Whisper of the Heart, because it's all about being an artist or a writer and the conflicting with the same problems of trying to find out yourself in your own story. Two very different things with similar themes.
Well, now I want something a bit more epic because I'm really angry about the environment.
Ooh, you're angry. Oh, do you like nature?
Yeah.
You're going to want to get yourself a little Princess Mononoke. It's on the meter of, is there really true evil in this world, or are we all conflicting against each other? Princess Mononoke answers that question and then some, because everyone is just trying to make their own way, but not in the pleasantest way. Brilliant film for so many reasons. Lady Oboshi, boom. What mood you in?
I'm kind of in the mood for just lighthearted, fun, innocent childhood times.
If you want that, and if you want to get really intense later on too as well, why not check out My Neighbor Totoro? He's this guy next door, I see. And he's all magic and he's like a bear. My Neighbor Totoro, kids.
I wish he wrote the backs of these DVDs. She's this guy and he's like a bear.
I'm in the mood for a movie where people don't shut the hell up.
Which one would that be?
I don't know, what's the name of that one?
Where people don't shut the hell up?
We're in a car for half an hour talking, and it's animated for some reason.
Oh gosh, you're talking about
Only Yesterday.
Only Yesterday.
Where the flashbacks are more interesting than the real time.
Yeah, that one
It's
is
a story
maybe...
about a young woman becoming a not so young woman, and she looks back at when she
so we
was a
will give
younger
you
woman.
okay. The ones you should watch. If you want something more epic, go for Princess Mononoke. If you want something more whimsical, go for Kiki's Delivery Service.
If you want adventure that's
favorites?
also silly, go for Castle in the Sky, Lapida.
Yeah, Lapida's
That's
a lot of fun.
epic-ish, but still silly, so that's in the middle. If you want tragic and life stuff, you want Ponpoko, which is all about those raccoon dogs and how they adapt to modern life, and it's just heartbreaking.
Taking over the forests.
If you want another epic, you want to go to friggin'... basically you want to watch them all.
Yeah, but I mean, I would start, like, my go-to favorites are Kiki and Mononoke.
Okay, yeah, let's do our go-to favorites. Kiki's Delivery Service is my top. I love it so much. It's fantastic. Mononoke, for its themes, is just brilliant. And one of the ones that really delighted me was the Cat Returns.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a modern fairy tale, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That one's just, and it's voiced by Anne Hathaway.
Oh, cute.
The voice of an angel.
Oh, Ian.
Those two are my top favorites.
Also, like I think one big one that a lot of people kind of cite. Once though, yeah, hello.
We lost you for a second.
Oh, am I here? Yes, good. Yeah, I mean, I would just kind of go through the whole roster, but those are my favorites. I think Totoro was the first one I saw.
Castle.
Turn It Away. I could not remember the name of it. I remember that. I think that one won an Oscar, so it was kind of one of the bigger ones that came into the public attention.
Yeah.
It won or was nominated for one, and it's beautifully done.
I think.
I think it's a really good story. It's really quite amazing. All the creatures in there are fantastic. My favorites still are Kiki, Mononoke, and I really enjoyed Lapida. That was the first one they did, and it's fun. We watched.
It's got some of the best chase scenes I've ever seen animated.
Fun.
Basically, if you like chase scenes and you like them just bordering the line of insanity, Lapida Castle in the Sky has like this car chase on this train track that's falling apart, and it's like you're just like the whole time. It's brilliantly funny.
Yeah, the animation's it's pretty frantic.
Another one that's actually really interesting and it's hard to categorize is Porco Rosso. Because it's kind of like an old man's tale.
That's an older one, yeah.
It's an interesting story because I'm not sure if it's a story about regret or something, but it's an interesting
I think it is. It's yeah. I haven't seen it recently. I'd like to watch it again.
It's a really interesting watch if you want, like, because basically there's basically a Miyazaki move, not necessarily Miyazaki because there's different directors in Ghibli, but there's like a Ghibli film almost for like every kind of mood and tone. There's romantic tales. There's more whimsical tales. Like Howl's an interesting one because it draws a line of like lots of fantastical, interesting stuff. And then you have like what's the one with the fish girl? Ponyo, which is Ponyo's a strange one. It's really
made
cute.
for toddlers. It's very, very young. I think
he
described it as being made for little kids.
House on the what was it? Flipping flags on the hill, or what's it called?
Poppy Hill.
Go by. Poppy Hill.
Poppy Hill.
Well, but Poppy Hill's an interesting life. Okay, so this is it. All right, let's settle down, everyone. This is the Ghibli roster. There's life stories, then there's whimsy, fun, magical life stories, and then there's like magical, fun, epic stories, and then there's epic stories. And the life stories also split into two categories of depressing and whimsy. And it's like...
Yeah, I would maybe not watch Grave of the Fireflies first.
As Glenn likes to point out, did you finish your Grave of the Fireflies candy yet?
No, Glenn.
No, Glenn. There's still the broken plums in there that we have to pour the water in. Let's jump into the chat because we have a bunch of people. We got Yaiba saying no love for Nausicaa, and I'll say I read Nausicaa, and it's one of the best manga I've ever read in my life. I haven't watched it yet, though.
I love the manga. And it's incredible. I think she's an incredible protagonist. She's definitely one of my favorite protagonists. Yeah, oddly, I didn't love the movie. I think maybe just it's so condensed. There's some really great animation in it, but I just like it was a fun watch. But I mean, I just loved the book so much that you know, the movie kind of only being like a part of it feels like like,
that's the reason I didn't watch it, because people said it was really condensed. And it's like, because I really love it's like, it was released originally in like it's been released in many different formats. The one we had was like 4 solid graphic novels of Nausicaa. There's another thinner, taller version that's like 6 to 8 of them. But then they recently released the 2 like complete ones in big blue books, which apparently has 1 spelling mistake in there that pisses you off.
Yeah, I forget what it is, but I was like, grrr!
This was supposed to be the perfect edition!
I know. Why did you?
This doesn't happen with Ultimate Sandman or Unlimited.
I like to mags. Why just give them to me and I'll find them?
Yeah.
Proofread everything.
So I haven't watched the Nausicaa movie yet just because of that reason, but the books are fantastic. There's also The Borrower was one. What's it called?
Arrietty.
Arrietty, yeah. The Secret World of Arrietty. One
really
sick boy will be really mean to a tiny girl.
It was really pretty. Wait, what? It was really pretty, but I found that the bad guy, I was kind of like, huh? And I found he was such a dick, like the boy at first. I was like, screw you. I mean, he's sick. Like,
yeah. But like the villain's reasoning was kind of strange, and it's kind of like creating conflict where they didn't need to be in a way. It was kind of nice enough to just have a story about like tiny people running around in toy houses, which are awesome because tiny houses are
fantastic. I love tiny people running around.
If you are new to Ghibli films, pay attention to the food, because it is some of the best looking food you'll ever see animated, especially in Howl when they make the bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
Good God, it looks so good. I follow Tumblrs that are just about like Miyazaki food and anime.
Yeah, Ghibli food.
Ghibli food, so good. Let's quickly run down what other people are saying. We got Terrell saying Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, and Howl's Moving Castle are my holy trilogy of films.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Ariel says Porco Rosso, Whisper of the Heart, and Cat's Return are really good as well. Yep, we can point out those ones. Andrew Murray, this is from before, but I think it's funny just to add in. Popeye's Chicken is better than KFC. Thank you, Andrew Murray. We got Angie saying Nausicaa, the Eye of the Wind. Ariel saying Kiki's Delivery Service. Angie also saying Romance, Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
Great. Actually, I think Howl's has one of my favorite soundtracks of them all. It's got a fantastic little... Every now and then in Anime Extreme, which is the anime shop here in Toronto on Spadina, that is basically a mini anime convention. They play like anime music now and then, and whenever they play Howl, it's always like na 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 na. So wins.
I always lose it to Mononoke because it's just so beautiful, that beginning where it just starts really eerie and then goes to the big dun. Like, I save all the forest. Can I save the forest?
Yeah. It's man, this is the one thing that I love about, if you're once again new to the Ghibli films, is kind of the more ambiguity of villain, or more closer to antagonist.
I just feel like it's really smart writing, and they really give it the time to let the story breathe out. Because I mean, you could argue that Totoro's a story about nothing. It's just enjoying
It's
the
like
summer.
Seinfeld in that way.
It's not much. Well, it's a lot of quiet moments, and you could never. I mean, where did we go? We went to see the Laputa Castle in the Sky with Guillermo del Toro was in town, and he was introducing it. And I mean, he's right. There's no way you could make Totoro here, because execs would be like, "Oh, can't we have more crazy action happening?" And the girls are like skateboarding, and now there's like boy trouble and stuff. It's like, no, it's just a quiet summer where nothing's
There'd
really
have to be a
happening.
villain who'd be like, the Totoro will be mine.
But I mean, there is
from the
some
King
really
Kong movie.
Yeah. It's the government wants Totoro, and then the military has to come in. The girls have to say, no, don't hurt Totoro. But I mean, there's some really serious drama in Totoro as well. Like,
Totoro's heavy, man.
Well, the little sister runs away and goes missing, and like there's a scene where they're actually afraid she might have drowned in the lake, and it's terrifying because the main character. Satsuke, the older girl, is running around worried about her sister. It's just
though some theorize.
You feel it in your gut, just the fear, but it's also a very quiet, lovely movie. Well, there's that weird. I mean, no one's gonna get it if they haven't seen the movie, but there's a weird theory about that movie.
Theory of what Totoro is actually based on.
Totoro is the spirit world.
Yeah. So look up, it's heartbreaking, but look up the Totoro theory online, and
on Tumblr.
Or don't. If you like to enjoy the movie, don't.
Yeah, no, I quite enjoy that one.
Matthew now says, all right, we basically listed all of them, but Matthew says, all right, I'll check them out eventually, but thanks for all the help. There's also one more he didn't mention was meet My Neighbors the Yumadas.
Oh, I enjoyed that one. Yeah,
it's an adaptation of a comic strip series from Japan, and it's kind of like more kind of life stories with a modern family kind of thing, right?
It's funny, yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet either, actually. I'm behind on that. But that being said, well, I'm not sure if all the cities have this, but I heard like LA did, and Toronto definitely does. Each year we actually have like a Ghibli celebration at the Tip Bell Lightbox where they play all the films, and usually one that you haven't seen yet, which is nice. And that's where we saw, Only Yesterday, and the one with the kids wearing the jeans.
Summer Breeze. It's interesting because they are very much like that summer one is very much an animated film about. It's like high school, and then it's also growing up and revisiting. So I mean, they're like it's their audiences all over the place, which I really enjoy.
What was the most recent one we saw?
The Wind
Rises.
The Wind Rises, which is very much an older story. Because I remember I went to go see some kids movie, and they were advertising before it, and I was like, I don't know if little kids would go for this movie. I don't know why.
They tried to trick you with like the dream sequences, and that's the most zany it gets. But it's a serious, heavy kind of story about just life right before the war.
It's
really interesting film.
It's a story about creativity too, and like what you I don't know if it's give up, but it's like when you're and it's like the main character, he's just really driven to make the perfect airplane, and it's kind of like what gets sacrificed to follow your dreams. You're not maybe spending as much time with your loved ones as you want to, but you spend as much time as you can, and it just kind of deals with, I think, very real problems that a lot of us who are driven to create face, and I think it feels like a very personal story for a lot of people that make things too.
You only have 10 years.
Yeah, well, also the thing where they're like, you only have 10 years to create, and I'm like, well, damn, I'm done. I would argue that you're still learning in this stage.
We got Lewis saying, have you watched the May and the Kitten Bus shorts? There's a camera for it on YouTube.
Oh, so someone snuck it into the...
I think it's probably from the museum, the exclusive museum stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. That sounds cute. Apparently it's on YouTube.
Terrible. I'm going to watch it.
Well, yeah, how else will we see it? It's like me and the Mickey Mouse shorts. I'm like, well, come on! They're made in Ottawa. Why can't I watch them here in Toronto?
Right.
America. And I'm like, I don't get it. Figueroa says, Ghost in the Shell has fabulous score.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet. It's coming out, I think.
Oh, actually, yeah. I have this here. Once again, from the TIFF Bell Lightbox, which seems to be pushing some really nice animations these days. Coming up July 12th to 19th, it's friggin'... No, that's not it. The picture's weird, but it's like a whole different movie. Wait, maybe. What? Okay, it's alright. Techno Human, the films of Mamoru Oshii.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's... this might be a lecture more than it is a screening, but it says...
I think the screening is there.
On the occasion of our In Conversation With session with Mamoru Oshii, we'll screen some of the finest films from the anime visionary's extraordinary multifaceted career. And this goes from July 12th to 19th. And there's a picture of Ghost in the Shell, but it doesn't say what's actually screening. But this is in Toronto. if you're in the Toronto, look up the Bell Lightbox and see what they're doing, because they actually play a lot of like the anime screens. Oh, they actually have Star Wars coming up too. That's cool. No,
Because I haven't seen one in a million times.
No, well, I haven't actually seen the original theaters like untouched, so that'd be interesting.
Is that untouched?
No, I didn't actually read the thing.
Star
We'll probably
Wars
start wrapping
Untouched.
up soon because it's 10 o'clock here where we are. Yaiba's also saying, can I suggest Quite Country Cafe? Is it Quit Country or Quite Country? Quit Country Cafe?
Oh, I don't know that one.
Although it's not Ghibli, but Quiet. Okay, correction after. Quiet Country Cafe.
Quit the Country Cafe.
Is it anything like the Panda Cafe show, which is about a panda working at a cafe?
Oh, with the duck. Maybe that is it.
I don't think so. Quiet Country Cafe.
Something else.
Says Mickey Mouse shorts are on YouTube. Just look up Mickey Mouse shorts. Really? Everything keeps getting blocked. Is this American or Canadian?
You watch them on Watch Cartoons online.
What? I gotta watch Korra too.
Oh shoot, we should watch Korra.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them. We should watch those. Cool. I'm just gonna quickly look because we're past the 2-hour mark, guys. I gotta eat food at some point.
I need some water.
I think we talked about mostly everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's most of the main stuff. Upcoming events, guys. July 5th, like this weekend, Fanfiction the Show, doing a live show where comedians perform fan fiction from the depthest, darkest, deepest bowels of the barrel, with the most, well, active and interesting character stuff going on. I don't know what the best way to word is. The point is, Ninja Turtles Fanfiction the Show will probably be full of Ninja Turtle filth. That comes up this weekend at the Black Swan. So Saturday, get your tickets and get out there.
If you have a guilty pleasure for reading dirty fanfiction, then come to this bar where comedians will read it for you.
Yeah, so that's coming up this Saturday on July 5th. July 11th is Atomic Lollipop at the Science Center. It's kind of a more carnival-esque anime geek convention. I've yet to be at one. I don't know what's like at the Science Center. But check that out if that's your bacon. And also, July 18th to 20th is Con Bravo out in Hamilton. JonTron is going to be there. Friggin' JonTron from JonTron.
JonTron.
This guy. You know, he did the Hercules video. You gotta go see him. And then, of course, at the end on July 23rd to 27th, San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to be out that way.
Oh my gosh.
Got coming up soon, man. We're going to be down there. The week after, we're going to want to like be bouncing around LA. Go check out Disneyland if you're around.
Airbnb.
Yeah, we'll be at the beach. It'll be great. It'll be a time and a half. So that's all that I know for the upcoming events. Unless you guys have upcoming events you want to throw my way. Quickly, Yaiba's saying, it's a really sweet anime, I think we're talking about the cafe, with kind of a weird premise. The world is ending, and the main character is an android, but the actual story ignores this and is more about how people are living these simple lives under extreme circumstances.
Aww.
Because coffee shops will be needed at the end of the world, if we know anything.
Yeah.
The Twitters and the Tumblrs, Katie Shy for all her
Katie
stuff,
Shy.
Shaggy Shan for all my stuff. The book you are seeing being made is Silly Kingdom, A New Steed Indeed, coming soon. Go to sillykingdom.com if you want to find out more and look into pre-orders and stuff. It's all there.
Yeah. I'll be doing pre-orders where we do the regular pre-orders, and I also have a bonus edition where you can get a character sketch that's sketched nicely in front of your book, and I'm only doing that for the bonus. Otherwise, if you want one of those, you have to catch me at a convention. And yeah. I don't think
we have any more upcoming shows, right?
Yeah,
I think we're done our season.
I've had a lot of fun traveling to cons. I feel like 2015 I want to just focus on making stuff. So we'll try and get the local stuff, but I don't think we'll be traveling as much in 2015.
Right. Well, you can actually go to Anime North next year.
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe we'll do the thing where we take a break every other year. What I would love to do is Thought Bubble in the UK, so I think maybe we'll come back in 2016 with a solid year with a ton of stuff, and then try hitting the road again.
Oh, I want to go to KawaiiCon in Hawaii just to go.
Yeah, Audra, hook us up!
Let's go to Hawaii. Just joining us now is Esmeraldante saying, hi, boys and girls of Venezuela.
Hola!
Well, you made it just in time for the end of the show. Thanks for joining us. because we have to wrap. Once again, the websites, if you enjoy the show and you want to find out more about when it's on, you're going to want to like or follow whatever the terminology is. Shanahanigans Live on the Facebook page, because that's where we post our shows coming up. Spelled just like it sounds. SHAN.
AHAN.
IGANS is all right there, I think.
Yeah, you can read it right on
Easy
the...
as that. Copy paste. All you got to
Am I
do.
one of those, or is that just one of yours?
I think you can do it yourself. Do you have a picture of a little red toolbox?
Oh, let me look. I turned off my Cintiq for some reason, so now the buttons.
Oh, no, well, never mind.
Red toolbox? No, we can stress this out. Yeah, I do.
Add a
You have a
subtitle?
toolbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the leftmost option and you can type in like a lower third. Then you can activate the lower third with the on
Oh,
button.
I don't think it works. Wait, that. Continue.
Uh-huh.
We do this. Okay, okay.
Uh-huh. Do you see options?
Yeah, what do I press? The farthest left?
Well, like, yeah, there's like 5 things at the top. There's like a picture of a head and a circle around it, and that's your icon. Why do you have to do this now? It's the end of the show.
Wait, I don't know if it's working.
You have to activate it. You have to press on.
On?
In the top right corner of the whole widget.
Hey, look at that!
Hey, let's look at this. Katie has a lower third. I do boop.
Okay, we're gonna keep doing this, I think, from now on.
Oh, good.
Sweet.
That's the Shanahanigans Live. Usually Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Usually.
If not, we'll tell you if it's a Wednesday or if it's at a different time. Usually Tuesdays or Wednesdays. If we miss it, then we skip it. We'll do it next week.
Yeah.
Until then, stop on by, follow the Twitters and the Tumblrs. Shaggy Shan, Katie Shy. Book is Silly Kingdom. The other book is Shrub Monkeys, Shanahanigans Volume 1, or the other way around. I forget.
Yeah, it's right here.
They're all available at our store. And if you like what we do, why don't you go buy yourself a book? And
why don't you support us so we can, maybe work on more stuff.
Maybe we'll make more things. I don't know. Who knows what will happen?
Yeah.
All right. This is Shanahanigans Live. We will see you guys. It says, I'm working but listening. Love you guys. Thank you, Esmeralda Dante.
Excellent.
I guess you can go back and start the show again because
you can pretend we're still going live. We'll still be glittering around somewhere.
Otherwise, we'll see you all next week. Have yourself creative time.
All right. Ciao, guys.
Yeah. Back.